of death, keep our souls, lest they fall prey to him.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. Hope you're all doing well. We're back with a Total War Warhammer King of the Hill. So today is going to be a random faction King of the Hill. So essentially, how that's going to be going down is before each game, I will be rolling the faction for each player, and they can message me in Discord if they want to use one of their rerolls. So let's get this party started. Let's do the faction selection, turn the sound down a little bit. Looks like it's good. And yeah, we're going to be trying to get as many factions as possible today. So we will not have factions be playable back to back. So if we roll them 2 games in a row, we'll switch it up. But other than that, we'll keep it going. Yes, welcome. So firstly, it's going to be for Reginald Puggington here. So let's roll this bad boy. It looks like the sound should be off. So we shouldn't get jump scared here. Hopefully not. Okay, so for Puggington, he is going to be playing...
Time to kill.
Okay, looks like the sound is still going. I thought I turned that off. Okay, it's kind of loud. Strange. I'm not able to turn it down, so let me just turn off the desktop audio. That should do the trick. Hey, Max Ben Jim, how you doing? Yes, so we got Skaven for Puggington, and he's going to be facing off against... Who is it going to be? A counter? Is it going to be someone good? Oh, KOTH, okay. So we got KOTH versus Skaven. All right, so let's switch it up. And looking into the game real quick. So Puggington, you are going to be on Skaven, and okay, you are going to be on the forces of Grand KOTH. So go ahead and switch to those factions if you can. It wasn't too bad. You like the sound? Okay. I know that website has like jump scared people in the past, so we'll I guess we'll leave it on and see if it's fine. Yeah, I've seen all the new AoE stuff. It's really exciting. I was supposed to stream AoE today, but I wrote it down for the wrong day, so I unfortunately missed my own event. But we'll be doing another stream during the week as well. So, all right. Well, Total War Warhammer still doesn't have the means of communicating with people in lobbies. So, if they're not listening to the stream, let me go ahead and tell them, Puggington, you're Skaven, and I will find his opponent. Okay, can't find him. Would it be something like this? Yeah, so he's sitting on Demons of Chaos. There we go. Okay, so he's listening to the stream, so that's good. And Puggington just needs to go on Skaven, and then we can get this party started, and we should be good to go. Who wins between Crane Gunners and Jezzails? It's a good question. I think that, I mean, you would think the Crane Gunners would win because they're not Skaven. Crane Gunners are slower, Jezzails are faster. It's not something I've honestly tested, so I'm really not sure. I'd have to look at the model counts of both units and see what the relevance is there. But yeah, we're going to be doing Skaven versus Grand KOTH. Now, looking at this matchup as well, we can go to Total Tavern and see what that's looking like. Can we expect some? Yes, of course you can. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming. I'll be streaming some Age this week as well. Correct. All right, so let me switch here. Go to Total Tavern, and let's see. We're going to be having our season final soon too. You know, I was going to wait for some news from CA, and you know, maybe they'll be like, hey, something's coming in, you know, the summer. And then try and schedule it, you know, in tandem with whatever we're getting next. But yeah, I think I just got to do it. So going to stats. Let's look at Skaven. Skaven's are currently sitting at, what is their win rate? Wow, Skaven are really in the pits right now, huh? But they look to be favored versus KOTH, I would think. Oh, it's actually a 50-50 matchup. It's only been played 4 times this season. So, okay. Hasn't been played that much, believe it or not. So there, I suppose, is a lot to be explored. Please release the map pack on Epic Games too. So I don't think there's anything we can do with that. I think that's just Epic. Like, yeah, the Epic Games Store doesn't have that compatibility. Yeah, I'm not sure how we would do that. I'll talk to some of the individual who helps run the map pack, but if there is some way of doing it, I would happily do it. But we'll try and get to the bottom of it. Yes. We will try. Skaven are tough to play, but they're very fun. I love playing Skaven. I feel like in the hands of specialists, they can be very scary for sure. So yeah, on this map, it has some decent line of sight blocking for direct fire. Mortars could be good. I honestly wouldn't hate like a triple Skaven mortar build. I feel like that'd be really cool. Like double Skaven mortars. Because usually, you know, KOTH isn't really going to go that hard in single entity models. I mean, I guess they might try some weird terracotta rush, but that's just super haggard. Like usually Rattling Gunners and any sort of a Skaven combat character can fight those things off pretty well. So we'll have to see. I mean, yeah, again, a lot to be explored. Junks could be fun too, but Junks are really weak against Jezzails as well as Rattling Gunners and Slingers and all those type of units. So you probably don't want to go that route either. Yeah, it's first come, first serve today. So as soon as somebody loses, they'll be leaving the lobby. We'll be establishing the King of the Hill, and then you can join. It's just first come, first serve. So let me go ahead and update the scorecard for the opponent here. Okay, Block, I think is the name. Hopefully I'll get that right. And we're all set. Okay, cool. Wacka Wacka has a Google Drive with the map pack linked in Discord. Yeah, sounds good. We'll look into it. So people on Epic can get it from there. So they have to like download it and put it into like their folders themselves, huh? Yeah, the Epic Game Store thing, yeah. I know there was some compatibility issues with some of that kind of stuff. Yeah, Globadiers are really good, but honestly, Skaven still have some solid tools. They have, you know, relatively quick infantry with high capture weight. Not that they have good staying power, though. That's kind of one of the issues. But with the current power grab mechanic, the way that Skaven players unsummon their lord to just get the power grab, the Skaven army's base leadership really isn't that bad, actually. So, you know, they can do okay. I'm curious about what KOTH is going to do. Probably Jade Lancers, Peasant Horsemen to try and penetrate into the back lines. I would wager a lore of probably Yin Caster still. The summons are just so good, and Talons of the Night is brutal. If they have like Council Guard or anything good, you just like nuke them, right? So I would wager that would probably be the way that you would go. Donner says, Turn deserves a game like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is a bit of a shame, man. I do wish there was more emphasis put on multiplayer in Total War Warhammer. It has vast potential, right? But, you know, understandably, the game was designed for single player, and, you know, that's what the higher ups of the company probably want it to be focused on because that's where most of the money is. And, you know, I get it. But yeah, it would be really cool if we could get a little bit more love and more frequent updates in multiplayer. New maps, like, dude, imagine how, Bueling says, I was about to call it a day, and then the stream starts. Oh, no worries, get some rest if you need it. Like, imagine how haggard this game would be if we didn't do the map pack. Like, if we just literally were playing on Black Ark, Arnheim, and Itza over and over, the hellscape that would be. We still haven't gotten a new map. Like, not anything. But the map pack has really, you know, reinvigorated the game, in my opinion. It gave us, like, a new meta, new maps to kind of focus on. Without the new maps, dude, we would just be in the potato realm, straight up. We would be in the potato realm. Disco says, I'm a noob when it comes to Total War multiplayer. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great time. I mean, the Warhammer universe is amazing. That's really what carries it, you know? That's really what carries it. Okay. So it looks like Grand KOTH is ready. Skaven are going to be getting their builds fine-tuned here. The ultimate scheme, yes. Are we going to be seeing Gorich? Probably not. Gorich is quite terrible against missile factions. A little bit vulnerable for sure. Yeah, no, it seemed as if, I don't know if this is just a feeling, but it definitely seemed as if we got more frequent content updates in Warhammer 2. Like you know, you'd have a couple months and then boom, there would be like a new, you know, Lord Pack DLC with 2 Lords, and it'd be really exciting and reinvigorate the meta. And there would also be like a bounce patch that would often come with it. So there would be like something like that. But yeah, those were the days of old, man. Those were the days of old. It was great when you cast it on Total War channel to put multiplayer stuff out. Yeah, for sure. Well, we did that recently. We casted several. With the World Championship was on Total War's official channel, which was pretty fun. That was definitely a good time. Definitely a good time. Bob's new maps look great. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'm really, really excited for that. I saw that we have 2 new maps in the Total Tavern map pack that we'll be showing soon. When next time we patch the mod, we'll be able to kind of show you guys how that looks. We'll showcase them. Ever consider doing tabletop channels? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be starting a tabletop channel. So as you know, Warhammer the Old World is coming back. So Total War Warhammer Fantasy is coming back to tabletop, and when that happens, I'm going to be starting a tabletop channel. My wife and I will. She's going to do like painting tutorials and make the battlefields and all that. I'm going to be playing, and we just need to find some people to play with in my area. That's the trickiest part, to be honest, because I live in kind of a bit of a rural mountain village. It's not that small, but There are people like, maybe 30, 40 minutes who play, but again, you want to be playing with people who are, fun and engaging. And unfortunately, it's kind of tricky to find folks who would, maybe have the Warhammer Fantasy experience and be into it, but still working on it. How about ending the stream with a good old Haggard free-for-all? We could do that maybe. We'll see. We will see, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, lots of fun stuff on the horizon. We're going to be covering, obviously, anything Total War Warhammer does, and we have Age of Empires with the new public test realm stuff coming up. We got Company of Heroes 3, which I'm super excited for. I gotta say, that's some of the most fun I've had in a while, like RTS game-wise, was playing the Company of Heroes 3. It was so much fun. If you guys haven't played that series before, it seems very intense, very intense. There's a lot of micro, but it's a great game. It's a great game. So I'm very excited to have tournaments for that as well. Very excited. Tomorrow we'll be doing, I don't know, maybe some sort of an Age of Empires stream, and then, although, I don't know, we'll see. There's going to be a Total War Warhammer tournament, maybe some sort of a Swiss tournament this week as well. So, got a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. Yeah, Company of Heroes 3 was a blast, man. It was really, really fun. At least as I know, the Pain World Tennessee is, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Well, and they made some of the critiques I had heard about Company of Heroes is that the graphics looks a little bit washed out and oversaturated and whatnot. But Relic actually came and made a response video on their channel pretty quickly after the beta ended, saying, "Hey, this build that you guys played on Company of Heroes was a month old. It was an older build, just to kind of test the fine aspects of multiplayer, and we're going to be doing a pass for graphics and making sure that it's all ironed out for launch," which is very encouraging. It's cool to see that quick of a response for something pertaining to multiplayer, because we would never get that kind of action in Total War. So seeing that sort of treatment is great. Yeah, anyone's welcome to join. Anybody is welcome to join. All right, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It is going to be a duel of fates between Oaklack and Reginald Puggington. Reginald Puggington, of course, a finalist in many great tournaments, tournament winner. Very, very strong player, facing off against the dreaded Lord of Grand Cathay. So Cathay going to be coming in with Fire Rain Rockets. Now, Fire Rain Rockets are a good choice here because they can shoot up and over terrain pretty well. So you just park it back here. It can cover pretty much all the objectives, right? So the rocket can go here. It can cover this. It can go around the far side as well. And it's going to be able to amply cover all three objectives, which I think is quite good. On top of that, we got Jade Warriors, Peasant Spears, very standard stuff, just the rank and file of Cathay. Very vulnerable against Globadiers, though. So these Fire Rain Rockets, as well as his Grand Cannon, and Crane Gunners in the back. So Crane Gunners, how many models do they have? 32 models. I think it's pretty much the same as Gisele's, but I suppose the Crane Gunners could move right here, get up on that hill, have a defensible Vanguard point to reinforce them, and they could shoot here and here and do some decent work. So I don't hate that. So on the other side, looking here at the Hordes of Reginald Puggington, it's going to be Ikit Claw and the Doomflayer. So the Doomflayer is always a pretty solid choice. It's a smaller target. He's looking pretty cool. He's got Flensing Rune to punish blobs. Granted, Cathay usually doesn't blob too much, but even still, it's just a really good spell. It also lowers armor, which isn't bad. And just in case they go, pretty crazy with the Dragon-Blooded Lord or, one of the Dragon Twins, you have the Howling Warp Gale to lock down flying units. On top of that, we got Spears, we got Globes, Ogres, and it looks like some Death Runners in the backfield. So the Vixren's, Vixren's Death Squad, it looks like they're going to be moving around the side and coming to look in and flank and cause some drama. So these little ninja rats, extra cool looking. Yeah, those guys are badass. I actually just finished painting a bunch of Empire models last night. Finished a Demogryph Knight, finished up a Master Engineer for my Warhammer Fantasy army. Pretty fun stuff. All right, so the battle is on. Grand Cathay, which route are they going to take? Which objectives are they going to be playing is the question. Looks like immediately we do see some Jade Warriors moving here and moving here. And I'm very much of the opinion that Grand Cathay is very much like a Dwarf army where you don't want to play all three objectives. If you try and play all three objectives and kind of break your formation just to get those points, I feel like you're really, really kind of easy to pick apart. So just kind of playing the defensive, 1-2 punch, I think really is the way that you want to play these type of factions. Skaven are a little bit different because they can just throw 300 gold worth of infantry at a side objective and it's really not a big deal. They're not they are a formation faction, like Globadiers in the back, Rattling Gunners, Gisele's behind that, with Chaff in the front. Very much a formation faction, but I still think they can get away with playing different playstyles, whereas, Cathay is a little bit more rigid in their military doctrine. And here you can see the Fire Rain Rocket's going to be scooting over this way. And are they going to shoot yet? And they haven't started shooting at the Skaven army. They could have been shooting over this little terrain piece right here, but it looks like they're taking it very, very cautious. Now, this is my favorite aspect of the game so far, the dreaded Death Runners in the bushes. These guys are just hanging out, they're ready to party, and they are going to just be blitzing down that side. And I mean, they could potentially end the game, right? If they're able to jump on top of the fire rain rockets, those different units, it could get very ugly. Now, this is where it gets really exciting. Globadiers, every infantry unit in the history of Total War Warhammer loves getting Globadiers on the face. So here they come, and that is going to be incredibly painful, the dreaded Total War lag. Another thing I love is going to be coming in and bombarding into the Jade Warriors. So yeah, that's going to do some fat damage. And immediately they take some substantial HP damage. Also going to be damage over time. It looks like the defensive stance is active here. And on the other side, we do have the old Vixtrin's Death Squad creeping around the side, looking like they want to flank. But like the thing is, KOTH is kind of aware that there's some funny business over here because we do have some spears as well as ogres. So it's a little bit of a tell right there. Now, KOTH is going to be responding to the Globadiers with their own. They do have the Peasant Archers, and the Peasant Archers going to be shooting into the Poison Wing Globadiers a little bit, while these Jade Warriors do continue to pull back. So, of course, the first game we just have to have the lag. People just can't help themselves. They just can't help themselves. It is what it is. So, there are the Poison Winds pushing them back. These Jade Warriors going to be running as well. And the Dragon-Blooded Lord of Yang, what are the spells? We do see the Might of Heaven and Earth, as well as the Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath is very much a staple for cleaning out, like, crappy rat infantry, but the Might of Heaven and Earth, kind of an interesting one. I wonder what the applications are. Nonetheless, Fire Rain Rocket shooting into the Clan Rats. Clan Rats taking a little bit of rocket powder to the face. Crossbows in position, and the Dragon-Blooded Lord should be able to get some really, really good kind of bombardment spells here. Middle objective is going to be taken by Grand KOTH. We do see Globadiers creeping up slowly, so that's how Puggington's going to have to play this, right? Just bring the Globes up, push those guys off. Side objective is going to be going to the Skaven. We have some Clan Rat Spears as well as Ogres guarding this one, and some Skaven Slaves. So they're just going to be guarding this point. And if Jade Lancers or any sort of mobility wants to come over here, they're going to be able to, easily handle those. So rockets and cannons bombarding the Skaven, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed with this KOTH hold so far. They're able to get good value. They're firing rockets and cannons are doing quite good. Here we do see the Dragon-Blooded Lord engaging, but now Globadier is doing some big work. Breath attack coming in from the Dragon-Blooded Shugangin Lord. That was the wind spell, and it looks like it's on horseback, actually, not going to be on its big flying mount. But that Globadier damage is quite substantial. You can see this entire pocket of troops is getting pounded, but I really like the Crane Gunners as like a tech against Globadiers because they themselves have armor piercing, so they can actually get through the 100 armor of these guys. And suddenly it looks like KOTH might be able to hold on to the side point right here. It totally can happen. Ikit Claw's going to be going Limp Bizkit style, rolling. He will be dropping a little bit of love on those guys, and it looks like a Flensing Rune as well. So Flensing Rune and Brass Orb. And this is really, really powerful, see? So the Globadiers are being countered a little bit, but the Mortars might be able to kind of sit back here safely and just bombard this position and give the Rats the point. And currently, the Skaven did have more infantry on the point, so they were able to kind of secure that. On the backside, we do see Clan Rats trying to maneuver around the side. Ogres also trying to sneak into the backfield, but Grand KOTH was very ready for this, so Oklok did have his great Longma Riders, as well as the Jade Lancers ready in position to shut these down, and these Ogres are going to be just basically Shadow Realms here. I mean, the Spears will help a little bit, but there's also KOTH infantry here kind of buffering them off, so not going to be the prettiest thing in the world. So in the backfield here, Skaven Slaves, yeah, they might be able to rally back. Skaven are holding on to this point. This is hands down the strongest tech is the Poison Wind Mortars. They are just absolutely ravaging these KOTH forces over here, and they have this like terrain piece that they can hide behind, which very much reminds me of Tabletop. It's like when I play my Death Guard army in Tabletop, for example, I'll hide my Plagueburst Crawlers, which are basically Nurgle mortars in 40k. I'll hide them behind buildings and just mortar over sometimes, depending on the circumstances, what my opponent's doing. And, it's cool to see terrain actually matter in multiplayer. Whereas in Warhammer 2, it was pretty much just flat battlefields because of the nature of land battles. But, it's still very, very fun stuff. But, yeah, it's nice being able to kind of see terrain be a variable in these battles. Really good defense here by Grand KOTH, though, on the side. And they are able to crush these Clan Rats and these Ogres. And looking at the forces of Grand KOTH, they appear to be a little bit ahead in value. But I feel like the damage tracker is not quite accurate. It seems as if the Skaven have done way more damage than this, but maybe not. I don't know. I could be wrong. Like, the mortars themselves, let's take a look at the mortars here. So we're looking at the Poison Wind Mortars. Now, those are Clan Rat Spears. So let's kind of zoom in on these little lovely rats as they carry their mortars a little bit too close to Puggington with a slight... Yeah, see, they have 460 value. And there's clearly been more done, like, among both sides. Another mortar team's going to be coming out. Clearly, the Skaven are learning the ways. They're learning what's effective here. But Grand KOTH is kind of taking those shots like champs, while their Grand Cannon continues to shoot at the large ogres on the far side of the map, which is going to be quite good. And they're just kind of trying to find a way in. Grand KOTH is holding on. I'm very, very impressed with this Grand KOTH play. Puggington is a top-tier player, one of the best in the world at many points in the history of Total War Warhammer. But he is running into a very tough KOTH opponent. Vixren's Death Squad emerge from their ambush, and they're going to start cutting down these horses. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Really, really nice Howling Warp Gale. Oh man, is that going to be a Flensing Rune Howling Warp Gale combo? That would be brutal. Look at that. So he gets a Howling Warp Gale, locks down the Flyers, and is there going to be a Flensing Rune? I don't think so. That would have been really good because it would have hit everything like below them. The Brass Orbs coming in, and the Mortars are being pressed by some Jade Lancers, but Jade Lancers are going to be screened out by the Clan Rats, so the Clan Rats do get in there and valiantly try and hold back these Cavalry, but the Cavalry are going to be pushing through, punching those low mass rats, and just trying to buy as much time for Grand Cathay to get these objectives back as possible. But the thing is, guys, is Puggington has been holding on to the points. He does have the 2 points. His point lead is currently 420 to 218. Give or take in just a second once his Haggard lag subsides, but yeah, nonetheless. What are the Vixren's boys going to be doing? So Vixren's moving up on the high ground, looking to penetrate through onto the flank, and they will cut apart pretty much any infantry unit very, very quickly. As you can see, their bonus force infantry, of course, incredibly pertinent here against these poor peasant long spearmen. Weeping Blades doesn't matter too much. It literally lowers their armor by 8, which is pretty funny. It is a 50% damage or armor debuff, brings them from 16 to 8, but yeah, the Vixrens will be able to cut through those guys. And the Skaven have not been able to get the middle objective. You could see Limp Ratclaw here is just kind of rolling about and takes down the Jade Lancers. Are they going to make a push for the middle objective? Cathay has not moved for the side point, which I think is good discipline. I think if they did that, like if Cathay pushes out, like Wolf Rats could like sneak through here. It creates a bit of an opening. I think for Cathay, you really, really want to be maintaining those formation. Now, talk about value. These Crane Gunners seem to have been doing very, very well. They're currently sitting at about 800 value, which against Skaven is not bad. And Vixrens up on the high ground are going to be getting attacked by Peasant Horsemen. It looks like there's some Wolf Rat support. We do have more Wolf Rats and more Ogres. And it would seem there is going to be a big fight here, which honestly I think Grand Cathay is in a posture to win. The Great Lawnmower Riders will actually do very well against Wolf Rats as well as Vixrens if they're able to get the charge. Vixrens will sunder their armor down to down to a fair amount, but even still, we'll have to see how this all unfolds here as these two forces go fisticuffs, or Jade Lancers being pulled in, and yeah, Vixren's probably going to get folded up. And this objective is going to be flipping for Grand Cathay, guys, which is going to be very, very tricky. Ogre is trying to maintain it, but if you guys are a little bit newer to Total War Warhammer and how the capture weights work, basically infantry have 5 capture weight, and monstrous infantry like Rat Ogres, I believe, would have they would have 3. So Ikit Claw would have 3 himself, so you can see he kind of bounces it out a little bit, and the objective flips back to the Skaven. So the little nuances like that can be pretty huge, right? Because if that objective had flipped for Grand Cathay, it would have been pretty brutal. Now, Vixrens are fighting very well considering the circumstances. It looks like there's going to be a Brass Orb going down there. Won't do too much, but Vixrens basically going to be on death's bed. As are Skaven making a play on the side? It looks like they're kind of eyeing it. And Grand Cathay has had enough. They're breaking formation, and it's like that scene in every movie where, you know, the evil guys who are winning, you know, will break formation, and then it gives the good guys a chance to, you know, get in there and do their thing. So we do have Peasant Long Spearmen and Jade Warriors moving up. It looks like 4 units might be a little bit of overkill. Those are just Skaven chaff. You might want to keep something on the middle objective here. On the side point, we do see the forces of Grand Cathay making a big push as a Flensing Rune does go down. No, that's a Howling Warp Gale. Once again, locking down those aerial forces. This objective still being maintained by the Skaven, so they were able to hold on to that, which is very, very big. And Ikit Claw is a little bit of a pain to kill, too. People don't realize that Ikit Claw is very tanky. His melee defense is okay at 36, very average, but Homeboy has 110 armor. So he's an absolute linebacker to drag down. But if the Longbow Riders can, finish off the Ogres or get around the back, shut down some of the Globadiers, that could be quite good. We do see the Poison Wind Mortars in the back, having used almost all of their ammo, which is pretty brutal. These guys still have plenty of ammo. It looks like there was a dive from some Jade Lancers trying to shut them down. And hey, very nice shot from that Grand Cannon. So the Grand Cannon has actually switched onto the Poison Wind Mortars, might be able to break them. And if they can take down the mortars that have ample ammunition, nice, and the mortars do get broken. Very, very well played there by Oakluck. Great map awareness. As Grand Cathay seems to be kind of getting a little bit of bully pressure on these guys. Now, see what I'm saying about not leaving a Jade Warrior on the middle objective? This is going to give an opportunity for Reginald Puggington to maybe flip this point. Side point here, owned by the Skaven, but for how long we will see. The Peasant Long Spearmen should lose to the Clan Rats, and these Jade Warriors need to get active, so a little bit of a micro blunder by Oaklock here. He should be having these Jade Warriors here, have one right here, and that should be more or less his game plan. But, you know, obviously a very heated fight over here. Very, very busy micro, but we can see if this is somewhat accurate, it looks like Grand Cathay is massively ahead on value, and I can see that as well. It seems like they've been doing a lot of damage. Puggington has been holding on to the points very well, but Grand Cathay has been value trading incredibly solid for sure. The Peasant Horsemen scooting up, pushing off these Clan Rats, and now the Jade Warriors moving on to the point. These other Jade Warriors going to hustle over here, and Jade Warriors are pretty much designed to take like 0 damage from Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves. They themselves have 80 armor. Their melee defense, even out of their Harmony, is really high. It's currently sitting at 37. So they're not gonna take any damage whatsoever, and probably should be able to flip this point. Great Lawnmower Riders moving about, and Grand Cathay able to stabilize its backfield. Grand Cannon still online. Ikit Claw, though, he's straight Limp Bizkiting here, and that's one thing. If you don't bring Iron Hail Gunners, or, you know, one of the Dragon Twins, for example, it can be relatively tough for Skaven, or not Skaven, but for Grand Cathay to deal with these type of characters. I mean, Cannons kind of can, but Limp Bizkit Rat, he can definitely roll around, hide behind terrain, and it's going to be a little bit problematic for sure. So middle objective going to be going back to Grand Cathay. Side objective will be going to Grand Cathay very soon as well. Now that the rats are kind of broken off, we do have some spears and cavalry. I'm really impressed with the great Lawnmower Riders, though. They've been doing pretty good. You know, looking at their value, probably not insane, but 800, but their presence has been certainly felt on the battlefield. So this is getting to a situation where Grand Cathay probably is going to need a triple cap, but the rats are just looking so bare bones on the battlefield, and the value is just doubled right now. 9.5, 9.6 to 4.2. The poor little rats certainly having a little bit of a bleak time here against the forces of Cathay. Ikit Claw getting shot by cannons. Every one of those cannon shots that hits him is pretty substantial. Peasant Horseman with the might of heaven and earth. Look at that. It's pretty cool. 51 melee attack on Peasant Horseman. Certainly not terrible. They do get on top of the Poison Wing Globes. Should be able to shut them down. And the mortars are about to run out of ammo. We have a little bit of mortar fire over here. Side objective being held by the Skaven. Skaven basically just needs to get to the point where they can win on one objective and just try and Helms Deep with like Globadiers and mortars and all that sort of stuff. That's pretty much their only hope here, guys. As the Wolf Rats on the side nibble on these Jade Lancers. Are they the armor-piercing Wolf Rats? It looks like another Flensing Rune going down. That's not a bad cast. It's going to be hitting the Dragon-Blooded Lord, the Jade Lancers, as well as a second unit of cavalry, which are very tattered, so it should be able to finish those guys off. But Grand Cathay is just so numerous. They got so many things on the battlefield right now, and now they're just going to march over to the side objective, which is a ton of armor, and I don't think the Skaven have the stopping power to stop this at this point. I really just don't think they do. Here we see the Globadiers being rode down. Great Lawnmower Riders coming on and looking to buzzsaw through some of the Skaven. Pretty cool units for sure. I can't wait for Grand Cathay and Kislev to get tabletop armies in the old world. That's going to be so fun to paint for sure. My wife's going to be painting up the Kislev army. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to be doing kind of a Polish-inspired Kislev army, which will be pretty fun because my Empire army is already red and white as well, so it'll be a lot of those colors. Peasant Long Spearmen, they're hanging out on the objective. The rats are desperately trying to push up, summoning in ogres, whatever they can. But I believe Grand Cathay does need to get that third objective. And yeah, just maneuver over there. The rats are just spread too thin. They're going to be able to kind of mortar you a little bit, but as long as you spread your Jade Warriors out, you know, it kind of seems like Jade Warriors are like cheap enough that the mortars weren't that much of an issue, right? Like they of course were able to melt them a little bit, but like they are cheap units. It's not like they're expensive for how durable they are. It's not like a Chaos Warrior or something like that. Peasant Horseman going to be coming around the side. Jade Lancers also bull rushing in. We do have the Dragon-Blooded Lord following suit. Looks like there's going to be a Flensing Rune going down on these Jade Lancers, which is going to be pretty nasty. And they do get a big charge into the Ogres here. A big fight for the Dragon Emperor and or the Horned Rat, depending on what perspective you're coming from. But more and more Jade Infantry coming. That's going to be a lot of capture weight. Looks like the Lawnmower Riders are back. I think they were unsummoned and a new one was brought in. They were able to go back to the base and replenish a little bit. And we do have the Slingers back here, the Night Runners, all these guys poking down these. But I'm pretty sure this is the end of the road for our boy Puggington. He's pretty behind on value. It's 12,000 to 5.7. Grand Cathay has a really nice stranglehold. They have cannons in the back, which are probably going to be able to shut down these mortar teams. And it's only a matter of time before just a massive amount of capture weight gets here. But I don't know. You know, Puggington, again, is a top-tier player with really, really good control in micro. So if anybody's going to be able to Helm's Deep against a much slower faction that's actually pretty bad at taking objectives, it will be the Dread Pug. So Jade Warriors versus Clan Rats. And, you know, the one thing Cathay has going for it is that the Skaven mortars do friendly fire damage. So they're going to be nuking their own rats here. You can see the Clan Rats actually take a little bit more damage. They get beat up. We do see another Howling Warp Gale going down. That's been really, really good by the Skaven all game, using these Howling Warp Gales to keep these things trapped up in the sky. You know, even if you can't kill them, you know, that's often a tactic. If you're playing Skaven against like Be'lakor and you don't have the tools to kill him, you could just spam Howling Warp Gale every chance you get, and it's going to be taking him out of the fight for 30 seconds here and there. And it certainly does add up over time. And we do see the Long Riders getting on top of Night Runners. Perhaps a little bit of a mistake diving those units, because now you're going to get countercharged by Ogres, but they may be able to fight the Ogres well. We'll have to see. In the backfield, we do have some Peasant Spears pushing up. Going to be getting on top of the mortars. Very nice. So those mortars should get shut down in just a second. Although the mortars are helping to clear some Skaven units. But I think at the end of the day, the mortars are bringing more of a benefit to the Skaven army, as they are hitting a lot of bunched up Cathay units. Longbow Riders do get back. We've got more Jade Lancers coming out. Now you're starting to see the resource advantage that the forces of Cathay have. Even though some of these trades are pretty brutal in this choke point, they're still just rolling in there with just tons of bodies. And it's going to be very tough for the Skaven to come back from. 2,100 value on Ikit. So Flensing Rune, you know, it did get nerfed. It was a very broken spell at one point, but now it's not like the worst thing in the world. And we do have Longbow Riders coming up and around, and probably going to be rear charging any Skaven infantry. Like, if they can rear charge Clan Rats, that would be the strongest play, actually. Come here, rear charge the Clan Rats, tank their leadership, and then what that's going to lead to is a mass rout, and then the capture weight will instantly flip for Grand KOTH. But it looks like they're going to be going after Night Runners, but yeah, it's not a terrible decision. More KOTH units coming in. The Rat's going to go for a Ninja Cap on the far side, but KOTH is going to react pretty quickly. They do have their Jade Lancers. Very good desperation play here for sure. Getting, like, saving up enough for 3 Wolf Rats, surprising your opponent with a back cap. And, you know, that I think that's very, very strong. But KOTH does have good light cavalry, and their shot cap aren't bad either. Jade Lancers are basically the same as Empire Knights. They're a little bit less tanky, but a little bit more offensively minded, but not by much. Empire Knights have a little bit less of a charge bonus, and here comes the first engagement as the Jade Lancers start battling the Wolf Rats. And will the objective flip? It looks like it's going to. So Skaven, dude, Puckington is such a scrappy player, man. Is he going to find a way to win this? Oh my god. Skaven's still holding on to this point. It looks like it is going to be flipping for Grand KOTH soon, though. And yeah, he just needs to get this point, man. Oh my god, this is getting really tight. He needs to send an infantry unit over there or something. Yeah, it looks like all the Jades are moving this way. Probably take these Peasant Long Spearmen and just move there, honestly. Although you got to leave something on this point because of all the ninja plays. So one Wolf Rat's going to be going down. The other Wolf Rat's going to get pushed. Dude, Puckington could straight up win this, guys. Oh my god, he could straight up win this. Peasant Long Spearman holding the Skaven, piling in with everything and getting the capture weight back. See, this is where you're seeing like somebody who's a really veteran domination player and multiplayer player playing from behind and still using cheeky tactics and back caps to win. Which is something that, you know, after playing Company of Heroes 3 a little bit, it was very fun to come back and play some domination with that kind of same, like, it feels like a similar style. I feel like playing domination prepared me a little bit more for Company of Heroes. Not like too much because the mechanics of the games are very different, but man, oh man, this is going to be tight. I think this Skaven get it. They're not going to get it quick enough. Oh my god. Look at the little rats, dude. The Wolf Rat's able to hold on to the point. And like, all that takes to win that game from Oaklock, all it takes is him sending one Jade Warrior over here, and then he wins the game. Then it's over. Skaven get routed off this point, but it looks like it's going to be flipping for Grand KOTH. But does he have enough time to get this point back? He does have the capture weight here. Wolf Rats are fighting. If the Wolf Rats break, it could be very, very close. This other side point has been taken, so now he's going to be getting 1 point. Dude, he's got 10 seconds. He's got 10 seconds, guys. Oh my god. And the Wolf Rats all break, but it's not going to be enough. Dude, he's like needed another 5 seconds. Oh my god, and Puckington gets the W. Holy shit, the cheeky back cap, man. And Puckington held the points for a long time, right? I'm really impressed with that KOTH play, though. That, you know, Oaklock, if you're watching this back, man, you played like a champ. Well played to you. Puckington's a top-tier player. You outvalued him very heavily, but just a little bit of, you got a little bit relaxed on your side objectives. You had only one unit, and Skaven are pretty quick. They can sneak units over there. They have Death Runners. They have Speedy Boys. Very, very scary. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the current King of the Hill is going to be the Pug, and the score to beat is going to be 1. So that's how the scoreboard's going to look. All right, the Dread Pug has done it. Veteran plays. See, he didn't trickle in units. Puckington saved up. He saved up for 3 Wolf Rats and then popped them all out at once. That was the trick. Oh, we have another top tier player. So Pink is a very, very strong player. I believe top 16 or has been in the past. So this is going to be for sure a duel of fates. So we're going to just go down all the total tavern maps and give them all a little bit of love. So we're going to do the Bleakspire Labor Camp. All right. So Company of Hero Rats 3. I know, it really was, wasn't it? All right, guys, let's go switch it up. That was a really, really good game. That was a really, really good rat game. 100%. Okay. There we go. Looking good. And there we go. Very tactical play indeed. It was a great game. Okay, so now we go and pick the armies once again. So we can't have any repeats from last game. Let's go to the news. There we go. And let's see what we get. So this is for Puckington. Player 1, fight. Yoga Kingdoms.
Attack the mortals.
Ooh, vampire counts. Okay, that's pretty scary. And for the opponent, they each get a reroll too. So each player can choose to do 1 reroll. And mirror matches we're not going to do, by the way. It's just not happening. Okay, Bretonia versus the vampire counts. So Bretonia counts. And let me message Pink. Bretonia. Let me know if reroll. All right. Puckington, I think, is like a vampire counts guy. Okay, looking good. So now we just need to wait to see if the players want to do their rerolls. Vampire counts mirror. Please don't put that evil on us, dude. Why would you do that? It looks like they're going to play it out. I'm not getting any messages for rerolls from the Bretonian player. I just assumed the vampire counts wouldn't want to reroll. But the Bleakspire Labor Camp's an interesting one. This is going to be pretty fun. So we got Bretonia versus the vampire counts. Two top-tier players. These are both very, very strong players here. So we are going to have to see how this all goes. Yes, the lady wills it. The Fey Enchantress will probably be the lore choice, I would wager. I will be my guess. It's got to be the Fey. Okay, Bretonia wants a reroll. Yeah, because not many people play Bretonia, right? So I understand a reroll here. But you have to remember, it's not the worst matchup in the world. You could get something worse. Like, you could get something way worse here than Bretonia. Okay, so this is for pink. Okay, that's actually better. So we get the Legions of Chaos. So Be'lakor. Chaos Demons. All right, there you go. Cool. Okay, so we got Chaos Demons. No more rerolls. That's it's like the final answer here. You remember that from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Yeah. Is that your final answer? All right, so it's going to be Chaos Demons versus Vampire Counts. This matchup actually was something I saw being practiced quite a bit recently. But Be'lakor is really good. Exalted Plague Bearers could be nice. There's some good stuff. There's some good stuff. Be'lakor time, baby. Yeah, it's time. So we will see how this goes. Oh, stretching out the old arms. Oh, man. The ultimate heal match. Yeah. It's the nobody likes playing against us. Yeah. Factions battling each other. They deserve each other for sure. But guys, you know what's kind of scary about this? I don't know how practiced Puggington is. I know Puggington's been very busy with university and real life stuff, but Puggington used to be a Vampire Counts main, if I'm not mistaken, like a really strong one. So I wonder how in tune with the meta. Probably not too much. I don't think Puggington plays too many tournaments, so. The dreaded Pug all night. That's until Flying Taco appears, and then he gets his ogres when we randomly roll. Okay, just typing to some of the players, and we'll get it going. So how's life going, guys? Everyone doing well? Did you know that YouTube added a Q&A thing? How does this work? So start a Q&A. I'm just going to experiment with this feature, guys. So, okay. So ask. I've never seen this before. So start. Ask. Okay, and we're going to start that. How does this go? So I click start that. Oh, what is this? Interesting. So it pulls up like a different chat box. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So it's a separate chat room where you guys can like ask questions. It's kind of strange. I feel like, okay, maybe if you want to like focus, it's like a sub forum. Favorite color? Probably. Oh man, I don't know. I'm a big fan of like red, actually. Okay, let's see how this goes. Favorite color, red. Are the Skaven real? Yeah. If you've ever been to New York City, you can verify that. Turin's Dream DLC. I mean, there's not too much. I mean, I just want another Empire DLC. Yeah, with the Celestial Hurricanum, the Master Engineer. Give us a little bit of Luther Husk, Kurt Helborg. Give us a legendary Witch Hunter character. That would be my favorite. How would you get a new player into the game? It's so Total War Warhammer. That's one of the downsides of it. It is a very, very tough game to get into. But honestly, if you're a new player, you want to get into multiplayer, get Total War Warhammer 3 and get the Champions of Chaos DLC, because instantly you're going to have two fully finished. Well, no, you're going to have two full factions in KOTH Kislev, and you're going to get 4 very powerful Chaos factions, all of which are very viable in multiplayer. That is hands down the most cost-effective way to get into multiplayer while still being competitive, because Khorne is really good, Tzeentch is decent, Slaanesh is incredibly powerful, Nurgle's fun, but pretty bad, and then you have KOTH, which is good as well, right? So that would be the way I would recommend that. What does Kislev need to be good? Just DLC. Yeah, they need more stuff. Their roster's too limited, and they're very predictable. They have some really strong roots, but they need more of that. How would you fix a Steam tank? I would take 300 gold off its cost, and then it's fine. Can we have more Company of Heroes? Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't play it right now because we're in the beta. Or we were on a beta, which is now closed, but I do have some videos saved up, which I'll be posting. Are Tomb Kings any good in the current meta? Yeah, they're very good. A much more balanced faction, as a matter of fact. Tomb Kings they have weaknesses, They're balanced, they're very fun, and it's a great faction to play. I often recommend Tomb Kings as if you're looking for one DLC, it's awesome because it gives you a full faction, which is very solid and very strong, and their campaign's fun. They're good in multiplayer. Tomb Kings all day, baby. I recommend it. Do you think that when eventually Chaos Swords are added, they'll be OP? Yeah, but there'll probably be some overpowered shit with them, I would imagine. Yeah, and any new faction is getting it. What's your favorite Chaos God, and why is it Nurgle? Nurgle for sure. Yeah, I love the Baroque, like, green armor. Just, like, the brutal kind of appearance that they have. What other games are you planning to give a go other than Company of Heroes 3? Okay, so the roadmap for the year is Total War Warhammer. Total War Warhammer, Company of Heroes 3, Age of Empires, Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl 3 I'm going to be playing very heavily. And Stormgate. Those are the 5 games that I'm, like, laser focused on in 2023. Would you like a Southern Realms DLC? Yeah, of course. Can we get Kolek? It depends on the players because I'm not playing today. Would you buff Narnia Lions? Yeah, Narnia Lions could probably use a minus 50 gold. Yeah, maybe. 1 to strong. How strong are Wood Elves right now? I'd probably give Wood Elves like a 3, sadly. Wood Elves are very weak and very hard to play too. But in the hands of a specialist, they can still win games, but they're very niche and they have a lot of bad matchups. Most Chad faction, the Empire all day. If you had to choose Company of Heroes or Warhammer 3, I mean, like, look, Warhammer 3, Warhammer has been my jam, like, for years. It's always, Warhammer is, like, it's where the heart lies. And I haven't had a chance to play enough Company of Heroes 3 to make such a comparison. Any reason to take Blood Crushers and Skull Crushers over Minotaurs? Not in my opinion. I'm more of a fan of Minotaurs, to be honest. They're just so cost effective. That's just my 2 cents. What is your main Blood Bowl team? Nurgle. Yeah, Nurgle and the Empire. The humans are the 2 factions I play. Also dwarves. I'm pretty good at dwarves. And Nurgle I know how to play pretty well too. Like, I'm a little bit of a mouth breather when it comes to Blood Bowl, so basically just, give me a bash team and I'm going to be fine. Would you nerf War Wagons? No, I would not. War Wagons don't need nerfs. They already got nerfed. They got a cost increase. They're fine. Are you only playing strategy games with a 3 in the title now? Yes, correct. Okay, so the Q&A thing is kind of neat here. Why does Tzeentch struggle so much? That's a good question. I think a lot of the Tzeentch's power relies on their magic, and as their Winds of Magic runs out in the late game, their power diminishes. I've noticed that pretty heavily. You stop getting your army abilities, and they have a limited roster as well. They do. But honestly, Tzeentch is not a bad faction. I think Tzeentch is decent. They're niche, but they're decent. They're not as, like, ubiquitously strong as Khorne and Slaanesh are. Khorne is just one of the safest factions. If you're a beginner, I recommend Khorne all day, every day. Like, Khorne is such a good beginner faction. What buffs do you think would make the Nurgle faction comparable to other god factions? Okay, that's an easy answer here. So, Nurgle sucks because they have Nurgle's main battle line. Okay, so let me explain this in kind of a dual sense. Nurgle's main battle line, the warriors, the marauders, you know, their rank and file are pretty good. Okay, like, they're solid. They do poison. They have high melee defense. Generally speaking, are pretty good. But all their tertiary units, like toads and rotflies, are absolute trash. Absolute trash. Like, whereas, like, when you look at Khorne, their fleshhounds are great. When you look at Slaanesh, their cavalry is really good. Nurgle's, like, secondary non-battle line units are just trash. So they rely on battle line, which is really easy to counter. So what you need to do, Creative Assembly needs to buff rotflies and buff toads. And if those units became good, Nurgle would be a really strong faction. That's it. What are your top 3 best cavalry units? I am actually a huge fan. Are we talking light cavalry or heavy cav? It's a very different distinction, but honestly, I love winged lancers. I think they're one of the best cav units in the game. Great shock damage, great staying power with decent armor and an unbreakable trait. I love Empire Knights because they're super tanky and they really just kind of have great staying power, even though their damage isn't as much. I'd have to think about it a little bit more. Do you have any plans to get in AOS? Yeah, I might play a little bit of AOS on the tabletop channel. We'll mix it in there. Are Khorne Chosen the most badass infantry unit? For me, I prefer Nurgle Chosen because I just love the 2-handed weapons and, like, all the spiky, like, antlers they have and the Baroque armor and all that. Does Slaanesh need a nerf? Yeah, they do. The Mark of Slaanesh needs a nerf. All right, we're going to end the Q&A for now. Okay, that was kind of fun, actually. Yeah, it's cool. It like, focuses the discussion a little bit. All right. We can do more Q&As. If you guys want more Q&A stuff, we can do that in between games. So now we're just back to the regular chat. But if you guys want to do more Q&As, let me know, and we can do that. It helps me focus and on the questions and whatnot. So we're loading into the battle now. We're going to be on the Bleakspire Labor Camp, which is a really cool map. Absolute beauty right there. Sir, preference for Warhammer 3 or AoE? I love them both. Yeah, I honestly think that in some ways Age of Empires is a better spectator game. I think that's fair to say. its multiplayer is more fleshed out. It's more designed for multiplayer. So from a spectator's perspective, it can be amazing. But the advantage that Total War Warhammer has is the range of factions and the universe. The fact that it's Warhammer Fantasy and like has so many neat factions and characters and things like that is, I think, what carries it a little bit. All right. No worries. We'll do more Q&A action. Yeah, you can see the questions being asked. Oh, wait, you guys can't see the questions being asked? So you can't see other people's questions? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I've never done a Q&A like that, so. Oh, baby, it's Chad von Karstein. Hell yeah, with his White King. All right. So for Reginald Puggington, he's going to be coming in with Chad von Karstein. We do have a White King here. It's going to be basically just rank and file spam. Graveguard are the way. If you guys are playing Vampire Counts and you're playing against Demons of Chaos or Nurgle, Graveguard, they just annihilate demons. Because for some reason, in Total War Warhammer 3, Creative Assembly decided to add magic damage to all the Graveguard, whereas like a ton of other rosters didn't get similar changes. Understandably, they are undead skeletons, but reanimated beings, they would do magic damage probably. But yeah, so White Kings do magic damage, which means against demons, they just trade super well. We got Cryptors here, Chad von Karstein, and a super, super wide battle line. So taking a look on the other side at the forces of the demons. So what makes it... So basically, in today's King of the Hill, we spin a wheel to determine each player's faction. So they don't get to choose what they want to play. Looking here, guys, we got Khorne's Bloody Fist. Oh, yeah. Looking to win the SEM fight. And Be'lakor the Dark Prince, the mainline battle army, is going to be Plague Bearers, backed up by some Toads. Interesting. So maybe we'll get to see Toads do well today. And, they're very cool in theory, but these poor guys, they try their best, but they typically just get killed by skeletons and zombies and different chap pieces like that. So that's pretty fun. Pretty fun for sure. Now, on the other side, we do see an unholy legion of undead coming in, and it is going to be your boy Be'lakor and the Khorne's Bloody Fist looking to descend from the heavens. Do a little bit of hammering here. They can definitely go in and bully. I mean, the Vampire Counts don't really have any big SEM tools. Now, the one thing is the Vampire Counts could swamp the objectives and just kind of try and lock down the game that way. Although Cryptors aren't bad. Cryptors can definitely fight big monsters. They have good armor piercing. They have poison. So poison and percentage-based damage or percentage-based nerfed is always good against these type of big targets. But yeah, this is a very, very nasty goon squad. Chad von Karstein in the Brad King. I love it. That's so good. In the Brad King, yeah. I feel like at every college party I went to back in 2007 and 2008, there was like some guy named Brad who was just like putting down beers. That's Chad and Brad were for sure kindred spirits. Oh man, what was... Yeah, those were definitely some of the more like iconic like mid 2000s. Yeah, but then again, I had a close friend growing up named Brad who didn't show any bro characteristics. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's all anecdotal. Yeah, it's all anecdotal. So yeah, Vlad's gonna be tough to kill. I mean, Be'lakor can come after him. Does he have the Chadstein ring? He probably does. Let's see. Yeah, so he's got the Karstein ring, so he can get the big ward save. And Be'lakor and Khorne's Bloody Fist are kind of wandering about right now. They're just like looking for something to kill, something big. And honestly, I don't love this idea going after the Cryptors here. They can just turn around and fight and probably trade okay. But it looks like they're just going to be ignoring it. And look at Vlad, dude. Vlad gives no shits, man. People have said that vampires are arrogant and, a little bit full of themselves. And certainly him chasing two greater demons is a little bit precarious. I mean, he would lose that fight. So Vampire's going to get objective 2 initially. The high ground objective probably going to be taken by the Vampires as well, as they do have 3 infantry units, which should outcap the Plague Bears. So Skeletons are expendable, so that's 2 for 6 capture weight here, should outcap the Plague Bears. Granted, the Plague Bears can probably kill them off the point. Now, the blob fighting has begun. On the backside, we do see some Haggard brawling, and we see a Vargulf being summoned in. Interesting. So we see the classic Vampire Gorilla. Now, I think it's a little bit risky. The Vampire Gorilla actually gives the Khorne's Bloody Fist something to fight. I think just like Cryptor spam probably would be the way. Because, yeah, now this thing's just going to get hunted nonstop. Although, I guess the Gorilla does have 80 speed. So if it just wants to troll and run in circles and use its regeneration, that is going to be mitigating quite a bit of the efficacy here of these greater demons. Big erect pit of shades going down in the back, ladies and gentlemen, on the Sternsmen, as well as the Skeleton Spearmen. And we do see the Khorne's Bloody Fist going in and starting to beat down the Vampire Gorilla. And see, this is why we love Warhammer. You get to see giant, demons basically, looking like the classic demon portrayal, I suppose, battling a giant Vampire Gorilla. Always a good time. Vampire Counts have this objective, and this one is going to be flipping back, it looks like. Although the Plague Bearers might be able to actually win the fight here, but the capture weight is favored for the Vampire Counts as they do summon in what appears to be some Graveguard on the back. So Graveguard will be able to flip that point 100%. But this is what Vampire Counts want. They just want to be fighting on an objective. High ground's going to be taken by a couple zombies. Looks like Nurglings coming up there, so we're going to have the battle between the Nurglings and... Oh, I love this pick. The Exalted Bloodletters from Pink coming in. This is actually really nice. These Exalted Bloodletters are such a good individual unit, and that's what's really strong about Khorne, is all their units are individually very strong on their own, so they can fight isolated battles around the battlefield quite well, but these Bloodletters are for sure going to wrestle that objective. Now, looking at the middle here, Plague Bear is doing okay. The first wave of Plague Bears is being worn down by the Stearnsmen, and the Khorne's Bloody Fist and Bellicor just trying to hunt down the Vampire Gorilla, but he's basically just running in circles and getting heals and just not giving any shits, dude. Yeah, he's got to keep running, though, and taking advantage of his speed if he can. Where's Chad von Karstein? So Chad von Karstein is fighting the Hellforged Host over here, guys. A brutal fight, but the Hellforged Host, though they're very good against any of the Vampire Count infantry, they're going to be very bad against Cryptor-type units. Cryptors are not infantry size, so their bonus versus infantry isn't pertinent. And they are just going to be getting, beaten down here. Their armor is going to be getting sundered. That's a very expensive loss. And anytime you're trading evenly in value with the vampire counts, it's not good. It typically means that the vampire counts are winning simply because they have a lot of healing, right? We've already seen invocations. Cryptors themselves have natural healing. And yeah, that Vargulf has just been running around and trolling this whole time, which is so great. I mean, this thing is just taking almost no damage from these two characters. And, a lot of times vampire counts do come into matchups like this with, like, a Dragon Lord. So you'll see, like, let's say a Blood Dragon Lord. You'll see a Lamian Lord. You'll see Manfred just trying to get infinite winds of magic, basically. But in this case, bringing Vlad really mitigated the effectiveness of Bellicor and Khorne's Bloody Fist. And now Vlad is even getting in there, with his Von Karstein ring, and he's fighting these greater demons. Look how small he is compared to... Jesus, Bellicor's giant. But yeah, Vlad was able to kind of hold them off, and now those two greater demons are going to be getting pushed back. Side objective is going to be taken. High ground point, this will for sure go to the forces of Pink eventually. But all right, let me show you guys a really high-level tactic in domination. So this objective, Puggington knows he's going to be losing it eventually, okay? So what he does is he parks two direwolves on the side of the point, each of which brings 3 capture weight, hence more capture weight than the Exalted Bloodletters here. And he's just trying to delay the capture here for the Demons of Chaos for as long as possible. That is a really, really nice MLG play. There's no sense in sending the dogs into Exalted Bloodletters and or Nurglings, right? It's an ugly fight. But Vampire Counts currently have one objective, and the Demons of Chaos do have the high ground point, but that one's going to be flipping, as we do have Graveguard and Zombies and a bunch of Skeletons and different stuff like that. Those type of units here. Looks like these Nurglings in the back are going to be getting poked by these spears. But yeah, Graveguard will be able to clear this point out. Oh, what army ability did the Demons get? Is that the Tzeentchian army ability? That's really lucky. Oh, because Demons of Chaos get a random army ability, and that's for sure one of the best ones they could get. So that is going to do some big, big damage. You can see the Graveguard, the Skeletons, and all these guys just get brutal damage on them. All of them brought down to like half health. These Skeletons here are actually going to start crumbling, and those Graveguard get brought down to a very, very low point. And actually, look at that. It gives the demons the capture weight back. It did enough damage that the Demons of Chaos were able to get the cap weight on that top objective, which honestly, Puggington was probably feeling super secure and super solid there, but now suddenly it's a very, very precarious situation. High ground point is going to be flipping, but look at this. This is so troll. This is so troll. Dire Pack and the Dire Wolves just sitting on the point, and wherever, if they try and get chased off, they can just sit here. And I don't think Pink has noticed this. And even though Pink does have the capture weight advantage, these two Dire Wolves are basically making this objective be captured at a snail's pace, which is hilarious. Wow, this is such good play. Such good play here. You see one unit here, one here, and then immediately Pink is going to be noticing this, and it's going to be bouncing. So how quickly will Puggington react? Puggington needs to pull back these Dire Wolves, or else he's going to be giving up quite a bit of value for free. So yeah, definitely pull those guys back. But it looks like, he's busy microing elsewhere, and the doggos do get karate chopped by the Bloodletters, although at the end of the day, it looks like they both do get away. And that objective will be going happily into the talons here of the demons. Okay, look at this. He was saving for a Mortis Engine. So we get a Mortis Engine moving up. Look at that. All right, so the Mortis moving with zombie support. Mortis Engine will counter these demonic infantry very, very easily, but Bellicor and or Khorne's Bloody Fist could always go up there and cause some problems for it. So Khorne's Bloody Fist looking a little bit beat up. Yeah, the Necromancer fighting him, the White King here, the Brad King, as you guys called it. I love it. And honestly, Vlad just going toe-to-toe with Bellicor. I mean, yeah, he's not doing a ton of damage, but he's also holding his own. I don't know what the hell it is about characters like Vlad and Sigvald. I think it's just a Footlord thing. Like, they're so hard to kill. They're so incredibly tough to kill. And the Vampire Gorilla is chasing them back. And, if the Vampire Counts can win this, like, single entity fight and then rotate over and get this high ground objective, that's going to be pretty big for them. And it looks like that's what it's going to be. So we see the big rotation coming from the Vampire Count. So it's going to be the Cryptors, it's going to be the Vargulf, and I think the White King is also going to be hustling that direction. We see the Screamers of Tzeentch being grinded down by zombies and Graveguard, and mostly zombies, but there are some Cryptors in there as well. Yeah, the big Khorne's Bloody Fist probably going to want to go deal with that Mortis Engine. Looks like that's going to be the case, and the Mortis Engine just going to be retreating back into the tree line. Fleshhound's coming out. One of the reasons why Demons of Chaos are so good is they can bring all the best units from each of the Chaos rosters, essentially, in terms of demons. And the Fleshhounds of Khorne obviously establishing dominance and just chewing through these Dire Pack units. Dire Pack isn't actually normally terrible against Fleshhounds, but yeah, when they get the jump on them, it's going to be a little bit ugly. So Vampire Count's maneuvering over to the high ground objective, and this one's pretty firmly in the control of the demons right now. They got Fleshhounds, they got some Plague Bears up there, Vampire Gorillas there, Graveguard moving, and the White King is also going to be hustling that way. While Vlad von Karstein, I think wisely, is going to be staying on this objective, just trying to hold this and get the 2-cap. The points are still very close in this game, like very, very close. Either player could win this for sure. Now down here, what do we have? Zombies coming to try and support, as that Mortis Engine going to be running for the hills. And, you know, here's the thing. Be'lakor is almost around 3,000 gold. Khorne's Bloody Fist is 2,300. If this Mortis Engine can just run into the trees and run them away from the battle for a while, that could be quite strong. But the Mortis Engine actually gets caught. That's really not good. That thing's going to start taking some big damage as we do see the Dire Pack coming over to try and salvage the situation. But yeah, losing a Mortis Engine here could be a potentially game-flipping play. That Mortis needs to live. Vlad needs to cast an Invocation on that bad boy. The thing is, the Demon does do fire damage, Khorne's Bloody Fist. So the Mortis Engine is going to be on fire, which means its healing effectiveness is going to be mitigated a little bit as it tries to stabilize. Cryptor is coming in with their mass, and they'll be nice at blocking up these units. Vampire Counts players, one of the big skill sets for the Vampire Counts is being effective at microing your single entity models and making sure they don't get caught. But the Mortis Engine trying to waddle away here as Be'lakor and his big buddy, his big Khorne buddy, going to be going after the Mortis Engine, which is able to kind of hold that. Yeah, the Invocation able to keep that bad boy alive. Cryptor is showing why they are one of the best units in the game, as they have high mass and honestly just trade well. High ground objective here going to be flipping, and I love the Varix Reavers. I'm surprised we didn't see them earlier. They do magic damage, so they're really good at clearing out demons, and honestly are pretty durable, and they can maneuver back and forth. High ground objective taken, and now the Vampire Counts have a 2-cap, and if they manage to hold on to this 2-cap for the rest of the game, they're straight up going to win. So Dire Pack nibbling at the heels here of Khorne's Bloody Fist, who's sitting at about 1,700 HP, down to 1,675, taking a bit of damage. The poison is in effect as well. You can see the leadership was tanking for just a moment, and obviously when demons crumble, it's pretty substantial. The Mortis Engine here doing a great job. It's draining down the Exalted Bloodletters, and now the Varix Reaver is getting in there with a big undead charge. Magic damage just for everyone. Magic damage all across the board here, as Vlad is going to be dropping a zombie summon. And what is that spell? Is that going to be another zombie summon? Wait, didn't he just drop one? Oh, the Necromancer dropped a zombie summon as well. Okay, he's got the double summon. So Vargolf coming in, and man, I have to say, this is some impeccable control from Puggington. There's been many situations which seem as if he was going to be losing a substantial amount of units, right? Like his Mortis Engine was going to be getting caught and dying, but he just always finds a way to survive here. Another great charge using his magic damage, anti-infantry cavalry to try and bunker bust these Hellforged hosts, but the host is holding on quite well. Be'lakor trapped up, and Khorne's Bloody Fist does fall to the Dire Pack and some Cryptors. So Khorne's great fancy demon is going to be, you know, having to go back and explain some things to Dad. Certainly not going to be having a good time in the realm of chaos. High ground objective, we do have Skeleton Warriors, Direwolves, and Fellbats moving up, and they're probably going to take this objective as well. And now I think this game is, you know, I normally hesitate to call games over, but this game's over. I think that the Vampire Counts have got this. They've taken down most of the expensive assets. The Khorne's Bloody Fist is gone. The Mortis Engine dying was maybe a moment that the game could have flipped and some momentum could have shifted, but the fact that this thing is just cackling and it's still alive and it's draining down expensive elite infantry is just so painful. Be'lakor trying his best to get around here, but he's not quite able to get the prize, as he will be hustling. So there goes Be'lakor pumping those demon legs, and he's currently sitting at 2,200 value, which is still very good. Hasn't quite paid for himself, though. Should be able to finish off the Mortis, though. I don't know if Puggington's going to have any tools for that. And Puggington will be taking this high ground objective. The Nurgling's going to be getting pops like popcorn. Nurglings normally trade okay into Vampire Count chaff. Like they beat zombies, they beat skeletons, but obviously with, you know, hounds attacking them and Fellbats and chaff units on top of that, you can see the little popcorn boys have been popped. And yeah, that's going to be it. GG, well played, I think. It looks like the demons are making an attempt for the high ground. Okay, maybe they still have a little bit more fight in them. Maybe they do. Okay, Tzeentch army abilities might be enough to help get him back into the game. That is for sure. And the Mortis Engine has now fallen as well. So Vlad and company moving here. This is really smart, knowing Be'lakor has no capture weight whatsoever. Like, you could just leave some zombies. Let Be'lakor fight those zombies all day. High ground objective is going to be taken here, so we got some dogs and some skeletons holding that point. And the demons, you know, are just sending out elite units one at a time here. It's really the only choice they have. Varix Reaver's doing an excellent job. Looks like Varix Reaver's going to bounce out, go after these doggos. More Cryptors coming, and again, the magic damage piling in. It's going to be incredibly effective. Every demon unit has 20% physical resist. So being able to get any magic damage is like a 20% damage buff, right? Really, really good stuff. So big Pit of Shades, really, really nice cast there by Pink. right on top of the boys. So the Barracks Reavers are going to get a little bit of damage there. Looks like Invocation going down in response. It was a single target Invocation on the Barracks Reavers, and this objective is going to be flipping to the Demons, but it's only a matter of time before that objective is taken once again. These doggos going to be going down here, -1 leadership, so when Demons start to crumble, it is actually a serious amount of damage, unlike Undead. So, yeah, it's kind of the trade-off is, like, Undead, you know, Demons have, like, higher base leadership, but when they crumble or disintegrate, it's more damage. That's kind of the design philosophy, but that is going to be a victory for the Pug. The Pug is unleashed, guys. He is off-leash, and he is causing problems in the neighborhood. How many of us have been in that situation when you're walking down the street and you see a vicious pug across the street and its owner loses its clutches on the pug and it charges across the street coming for you? Well, that is what's happening here today, ladies and gentlemen, as Reginald Puggington has gone up 2 games. So currently, if you guys look at the scoreboard on the top, you can see the score to beat on the right side and the current king. So that is how that's going to be going down. Looking at value here in the game, Chad von Karstein, he didn't die. Then that's what he does. The Cryptors are just awesome. 1100 value on those guys. Barracks Reavers were a nice pick. Mortis Engine didn't do bad, but the Distraction Gorilla was also quite strong. Definitely quite strong. Big Demons did well, but that's where it goes rough. The infantry fight is actually pretty hard for the Demons of Chaos in my experience. It's pretty hard. All right. So let's go ahead and get the name set up. Well played. So anybody's welcome to join. We have another match here. The Pug Champ, yes. I love pugs. They're actually some of my favorite dogs. I just feel really bad for them, you know, with their breathing problems. Like, I definitely think pugs should be bred to have more of a snout so they can breathe properly. It's just really sad. Like, I know it's funny. Like, when I was a kid, I used to think it was really funny, like, all the little sounds they make. But when you get older and you become sentient, you know, you see how truly sad it is for flat-faced dogs. It's really sad. I still love them. I would happily rescue a pug, you know, but yeah, it's poor little guys. Poor little guys. All right, so here we go. And moving over. And this is going to be for Reginald Puggington. I would love to see him play Nurgle or some Haggard faction like that. Okay, let's go.
Defender of Ulf 1.
The High Elves, okay, versus... The Puggington's on the High Elves, and F-Pod is going to be on, what's it going to be? Let's do it. Oh.
Please stop it!
Hey, we got the Grom the Paunch DLC. Grom versus your boy Eltharion the Grim. All right. So here we go. So the map is going to be Borderlow Landing. So we have High Elves versus Greenskins. So F-Pod, you're on Greenskins. Puggington, you are on the forces of the High Elves. If either of you guys want a reroll, just shoot me a message in Discord. Cry Havoc and let slip the Pugs of War. Yeah, pugs are pretty adorable. They're great little doggies. Yeah. Wookiee was like partially pug. He was like a pug Affenpinscher mixed with a couple other things. He was definitely a grungy little guy. Yeah. High Elves versus Greenskins. This is fun. I'm actually excited for this. We're getting some really cool matchups today. Yeah, we're getting some really good matchups. All right. Cool. So no rerolls yet. Looks like they've accepted their fate. And we're good to go. I have some great Wookiee pictures, man. Let's see if I can find some to share with you guys. He was truly a goblin in life. He truly was a goblin. It's so weird going onto Facebook. You know, I remember when Facebook was such like an essential part of my life. You know, yeah, crazy stuff. Like, I remember back in 2007 and 8, like, the Facebook was the thing, right? And then before that, it was MySpace. It's absolutely crazy. All right, let's see if I can find some really good Wookiee pictures, like where he just looks like the most demented little goblin you can possibly find. All right, I'm looking right now. Yeah, Wookiee is he had the most unfortunate genetics possible. He was definitely not treated well before we rescued him. Oh yeah, that's a classic. All right, there's a picture. I want to get your guys' opinion on this, actually. So for some reason, I have always felt as if in this picture, Wookiee looks like the James Hetfield from Metallica. I don't know why I feel that way, but whenever I see this picture of my late dog, here's what he looked like. See, he was a little goblin. Yeah. This is him when he had long hair. But tell me that doesn't look like the lead singer of Metallica. I feel like that looks like James Hetfield. He's just sort of like, hey, here we go now. Come on. Am I the only one who thinks that? Now that you've heard me say it, he does look a little bit like James Hetfield, right? A little bit, yeah. I don't know. I need some opinions. What are some other good Wookiee pictures? Oh my god, there's so many. Let's see. What other ones do we have? Yeah, he was such a little goblin, man. Freaky little creature. He does, right? I'm not the only one who thinks that. No, that's not a knife. That's his collar. Somebody's like, is that a knife? He looks like James Hetfield a little bit. Yeah, it's his guitar strap there. That's his collar. All right, hold on. So then we have another one. This one, he looks a little bit less Metallica. I think that was his haircut because he had like the goatee. Hang on 1 sec here. I gotta show you guys the. And then here he is. Yeah. So this is like him when we first rescued him. He looks like an animal from the Muppets. Yeah. Enter Sandbug. Yeah, that was pretty great, man. That was pretty great. Players still building their armies, by the way, so don't worry. We're not like missing anything at the moment. So that was the Wookiee. Yeah, he was a great dog. He loved my wife. He despite no matter how much love I gave him, he just like I was always just some discardable piece of trash to him. He literally shat on me on stream once. That's one of the most legendary stories ever. Yeah, he was a goblin. So I was streaming. Well, he wasn't a puppy back then. Peeling. He was. In this picture, Wookiee was 5 or 6 years old. He was 5 years old here. Yeah, no, he was actually 6. He was 6 years old in this picture. Yeah, somewhere in that park. Yeah, he looks like an Ewok for sure. A little nurgling. But I was streaming a Blood Bowl. You guys could probably find it if you really dug for it. It was somewhere back in the day. I was streaming Blood Bowl 2. It was a short stream. It was only like an hour long. I can't remember which one it was. And I held him. Somebody on stream was like, "Oh, the Wookiee was like grumbling in the background or something." I can't remember, but there was some reason I picked him up, and I had a webcam on. I did occasionally stream with webcams, and I pick him up and I'm like petting him, and he's like chilling, and then he just right down my shirt, just a giant turd, which is basically the size of Wookiee's body, just against my t-shirt. Yeah. Those are some truly magical times. I love Metallica. Yeah, I'm a huge Metallica is one of my favorite bands of all time. The new stuff is not like it doesn't do it for me, but I don't like dislike it. I think Metallica's best work was favorite songs, Fade to Black, and Justice for All is really good. I love One, Sad But True, Nothing Else Matters, all the really classic ones. I love the Metallica instrumentals as well, not Orion. If you guys haven't heard the song Orion by Metallica, just put that on and just like jam to that. It's like such an epic one. But I really love Sanitarium as well. That's not an instrumental, but yeah, I really like that song. I didn't care for Metallica's first album, their kind of thrasher metal album. I really liked their late 80s stuff. Early 90s was fun too. It got a little bit wild when, Load and Reload happened, give me fuel, give me fire, all that. But Black Album is just amazing. And Justice for All is really good. Ride the Lightning is great. For Whom the Bell Tolls, they've got so much stuff. They've got so much good stuff. Saint Anger was a weird one. That was Saint Anger was a weird album. It sounds like they're just banging on trash can lids and all the songs in that one. They just set up in a junkyard and were just beating on random metal objects. But there were some songs on Saint Anger I didn't mind. But overall, it was probably one of my least favorite albums of theirs. Master of Mullets, yeah, that's great. Oh, my favorite guitar solo, yeah, The God That Failed, yeah, that's a good one, yeah. I enjoy Metallica quite a bit. That was what I listened to them a lot in high school. When I was playing high school football, all the bros we would jam to that, which was fun. Death Clock, yeah, of course I have. They had the TV show, right? Yeah. You know what? Like, a lot of people give Load and Reload a lot of crap, but honestly, there's some good songs in those albums. Like, when I saw Metallica in concert, and they did Fuel and The Memory Remains and like some of those songs live, I'm like, holy shit, these songs are great live. Like, Fuel live is such a hype song. It's so great. Going to be doing any more campaign videos? Yeah, I'll do campaigns, some head-to-head campaigns, and then also whenever we get something new, I'll do a campaign for it. Doom, you like Doom metal? Yeah. Like sludge and Doom and all that stuff, yeah. You would probably like the song, yeah, if you're looking for kind of that like slow grinding kind of like rock music, there's Soundgarden. That's not their normal style, but they have a song called The 4th of July, which I really like, by Soundgarden. It's like this slow grinding kind of like sludge type song that with Chris Cornell's like vocals is really good. Yeah, it's really, really good. All right, guys. So here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. The Pug is unleashed once again, currently King of the Hill with 2 wins. And he's going to be coming in with Mass Spearmen. Okay, Spearmen backed up by White Lines of Crace. So actually bringing a fair amount of armor-piercing infantry, which is kind of cool. Up in the sky, we have Imric. Oh, the Lord of Dragons. So he's going for a bit of a Vuvuzela build, basically giving his entire, melee-focused army quite a bit of melee attack, which I think is pretty fun. I wish I had seen Chris Cornell live. Me too. Yeah, Soundgarden is amazing. Super Unknown is a great album. I mean, aside from that, I haven't listened to too much Soundgarden. Super Unknown was just the one album I just listened to over and over. But yeah, Audio Slave is one I love. Audio Slave, like Revelations, Like a Stone, I'm the Highway. Man, I could go on about that, like that era of music all day, man, all day. Anyways, it is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Savage Orcs. They'll trade well into Spearmen, but lose to White Lions. Backed up by Goblins, we got Skarsnik, the Warlord of 8 Peaks. Oh my God, yeah, Spoon Man's a great song. That one has like a great, like if you're in a car with a good sound system, it's so fun to play. Dude, check out Skarsnik, the true Warlord of 8 Peaks. Doing my wife proud here. One of her favorite characters in Warhammer Fantasy. Arachnarok Spider as well. Plenty of anti-large. The Spider and Skarsnik and the Hag can easily 3v1 Imric if he gets caught in a bad situation. And you have to be careful as well, because fermented fungi. You can rampage big monsters. You can also mither them with the Hag, and then there's poison as well from these spiders, so that can get a little bit scary. Alex, thank you for the donation. Oh, hell yeah. Been too long since you blessed our haggard eyes with the Warhammer. I know, I noticed that. I went on and I looked, and it had been so long since we had done a Warhammer stream. I was like, man, we got to get in here and have some fun. Spirit Leech going down on Imric, the Lord of Dragons, who is going to be fleeing the scene. He does not want a piece of that Hag. The Hag just kind of eyeing the prize up in the sky. Well, the Greenskin's going to be playing the middle objective, and I would wager sending something over to the far side. Although we see some sneaky business. Check this out. We see some White Lines of Grace moving through the tree line. Double White Line of Grace? No, it's going to be a Spearman and a White Line of Grace. So the Elves going to be doing a flank in the woods here, which I actually like this. If the Greenskins are going to be playing a much more centralized army, having this big formation with like archers and stuff, you can kind of take advantage of their lack of flexibility and go to the side point. Granted, the Greenskins can react pretty quickly. They can get Squig Herds over there. They can get Spider Riders, all sorts of good stuff like that. Could you increase the audio of the game a little bit? Sure. Yeah, I could do that a little bit. No problem. Yeah, I agree. It did sound a little bit low last I was checking, so we can do the master volume just a little bit. You got to be careful with that, but we'll raise it just a tiny bit there for you. So Dragon's just going to be hanging out. Back objective. Both players actually threatening the back objective of the other player. I really like that. And now we get the Hammer of Gork coming out. Nope, just Rocklobber. Rocklobbers are actually really good against High Elves. They can bombard the archers and the infantry, and over the course of a long game can generate some very good value. Now look at this, guys. We have the dreaded nasty Skulkers waiting in the bushes. Oh, there's 2 of these bad boys. And I think they're going to be trying to hide in the trees. FPOD, of course, very, very strong tournament player as well, so this should be a fun fight. We've had, honestly, every single match today has been high-level competition. Great players for sure. So Skulkers have been revealed, the Elves are now aware, and it looks like they're going to be sending some more infantry over there to make sure things don't get too crazy. The backside is going to be taken by some Reavers, as well as double White Lions, no White Lion and Spear combo. And what are the Greenskins going to be summoning out? Currently, Reginald Puggington was saving up for something big, and we are going to be seeing a Phoenix. All right, that's really good. It's cheap, it's durable, it causes terror, and it's really good at killing lightly armored infantry with its bombardments. If you're able to get a Phoenix bombard like right over the faces of these type of units, man, you can do some nice work. Archers with light armor coming out. Interesting. Usually you would just see basic archers, but it looks like they're going to be kind of rotating about. So the Elves going to be rotating down this way and then looking to probably do some sort of a push like that. I think that's going to be the game plan. Spearmen honestly won't trade badly versus Nasty Skulkers. They would probably honestly win that, simply because Nasty Skulkers only have 16 melee defense and are more designed to be killing like elite armor units and whatnot. And on the other side, we do get Imric hustling with the Phoenixes, going to be chasing these rats. I didn't want to ruin the ambush, yes, of course, with the nasty Skulkers, but that ambush is about to go very, very south, and honestly, Puggington's pretty happy right now. Hanging on to the back objective, looks like they are going to be coming over with Orc Boy Biggins. Savage Orc's going to be engaging here, and it looks like the Elves might be retreating, but what you'd want to do is White Lions here, Spears back to counter the cavalry, and Reavers just kind of hanging out. And just, you know, buy as much time as you can, and try and force the Greenskins into an overextension, a little bit too heavy-duty of a trade here. So we'll see how that all unfolds. Back objective held by the Elves, and yeah, they're actually really making a huge effort to kill these Skulkers, which is kind of interesting. Imric actually taking a lot of damage. These little guys with their prison shanks, I mean, they do have 31 weapon strength, and Imric is getting smashed by these nasty Skulkers. I mean, yeah, he's going to get a terror route and chase them off, obviously, but they did not do bad. They actually did really, really good damage against him, which I think they, you know, they can go back to their little goblin caves and, you know, hang out with their goblin families and be proud of themselves. So, Illyrian Reavers battling Squig herds, very cost-effective. Squigs are designed to kill infantry, pretty terrible against cavalry in general. Squig hoppers, you know, and Squigs can fight armored cav okay, but generally it's going to be a bit of an ineffective trade for them. And so Squigs are going to be dragged down. Greenskins, very, very firm hold on the center objective. And yeah, I like this play from FPOD. Just basically consolidate, play defensively in the middle, secure your back objective, which is much harder for your opponent to attack, and then just force them to come in and engage you on the middle, which I think is what's going to be going down here. So on the backside, Reavers chasing down Orc Boy Biggins. Orc Boy Biggins could probably turn around and fight at this point, although the Spears are closing the distance. White Lions of Krace, just absolute chads here, fighting off multiple Greenskin infantry units, but obviously are going to be losing. They don't want to be fighting Squigs, right? Squigs are really, really good against them, and so too are, I mean, Savage Orcs aren't good against them, but they hit hard enough that they can chew through that armor with Squig support. So this objective is going to be flipping to the wall. Now the Elves are going to have to consolidate their strategy and start playing on the middle. Now, it looks like there are going to be some Reavers getting around the back. Imric coming in as well, so they could totally just go for a goon right here. Get the Reavers, and if anybody tries to come and stop your Reavers, you just bring in Imric, and he's going to get a big terror out and just give you a hellish situation. Tons of Elven cavalry coming in. So I know a lot of people just kind of expect mass infantry, but clearly domination can often look like mass infantry in the beginning because that's what most armies start with, but then it usually switches to mass cavalry, mass mobility, and more expensive monsters. That's just the nature of you know, the rotation there. Reavers charging into Savage Orcs. Savage Orcs will win a sustained fight if they choose to stay in combat, but it looks like White Lions are coming, and I do like this flank. It's like a big overload, trying to, like, you know, off-center the Greenskins a little bit and buying time while Puggington then comes in with all these forces in the middle to try and contest the capture wave. And yeah, like, the mass amount of terror there is not going to be easy. What needs to happen now is Skarsnik, the Arachnok Spider, and the Hag need to somehow rampage Imric. I don't believe he's below 80% though, so I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that is going to work. We'll have to see, ladies and gentlemen. Broken Tusk Mob, though, really nice flank. So obviously being in enemy territory, the Broken Tusk Mob was able to come in. Oh man, this could be the turning of the tide. If Skarsnik is able to get a rampage on Imric and get the Spider and his little, like, prison shank there, the Wah going down, very nice Wah. Spirit Leech going down, Fermented Fungi, and is he rampaged? It looks like he is rampaged. Okay, so your boy Imric is rampaged. The Spider needs to get on top of him right now, though. Get that Spider in there and do some work, although Imric is straight up just dying to the Broken Tusk Mob. And that Wah is so powerful, just the big melee attack buff. And look at that beautiful Skarsnik buff as well. Spider to Bad Moon going down. That gives anti-large to all these units. Really, really good stuff. On top of what they already have. Look at the response from Puggington. Puggington actually grabs the Flamespire Phoenix and does a bombardment run over the top of those troopers there. And Skarsnik and the Spider's a little bit of a blunder there by FPOD not moving in. I think if the Spider and Skarsnik had found their way on top, although I guess they're a little bit apprehensive about this. It looks like a Dweller's Below bait coming in, as we do see the Lifecaster, I believe, chilling in the bushes somewhere back here, okay? But now Skarsnik is in, baby, and he's got his shanks. The big, big dragon could be in some serious danger as the Arachnok Spider cuts off the dragon, but over pushes. You know, the Spiders are hard beasts to control. It does move a little bit too far ahead. And where is the Mither from the Hag? The Hag needs to apply the slow here. But I don't know if Imric's going to be able to get away, guys. The tricksy schemes are on. Spirit Leech going down. Imric is shaken, being hunted by an unholy Wah. As you see the Arachnok Spider, Skarsnik, and the whole crew coming in there trying to shut down the dragon. So the dragon's sitting at about 4,000 HP. The Hag is getting in with her sack of meat as well. Reaver's trying to salvage the situation, attacking and allowing Imric an escape route here. He's at 3,400. The middle objective still held by the... No, the Greenskins lost it. During that entire skirmish, the Elven Infantry pushed in and took that point. The back point obviously controlled by the Greenskins, but now it's a very solid 2-cap here by Reginald Puggington. But Puggington could be losing Imric for that exchange. The Broken Tusk Mob still staying on top of him. The Spider is trying its best. Another Wah! Oh my god, that is like a back-to-back Wah. That is so quick. And Skarsnik is going to have that Fermented Fungi off cooldown soon. Mither is active, so currently the speed of the dragon is going to be 20. And that dragon could be in danger. Fermented Fungi is active once again. Imrik is rampaged. The fighting was long enough that the rampage came off cooldown, and he is in some serious danger. 1300 HP. The Lord of Dragons being hunted by the Haggard Wa. They are all over him right now. But again, they're sacrificing a little bit of objective control to do this. They had to pull most of their army back, so there is a little bit of give and take here. But this Wa is relentless, dude. They are absolutely relentless. And it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a concave collapse. Orc Warboy Biggins get in there. 788 HP. Is there a regrowth coming in? Maybe a regrowth could salvage it. You see the Phoenix? Ooh, risky landing that Phoenix in there. Because now the Phoenix could get trapped afterwards as well, and that could be game blouses. And the Lord of Dragons falls. The pompous Lord of the Elves has gone down to the Haggard Wa. And now the Phoenix is trapped here. So that's the risk of landing the Phoenix to try and salvage the situation. FPOD does pull pretty massively ahead on value, 7,000 to 5.6. It's certainly not the point of no return. But even still, that's going to be pretty painful. The Phoenix is still kind of can serve as a support lord. We'll have to see. Narnia Alliance, Rahagri's Pride, going to be going to clean off the back objective. They will massacre these Savage Orcs pretty hard, but the Elves look to be holding on to the middle pretty well. Back objective is being contested by Nasty Skulkers, and is there going to be any other Elven support? I don't know if Rahagri's Pride can beat both these units. We'll have to see. So Narnia Alliance get in there and just start tearing apart Savage Orcs. They're such a cool unit. I wish they were used more often. They're just rad. Yeah, you can see they just absolutely brutal beatdown on those Savage Orcs. And they should be able to move in. Looks like the Rahagri's Pride. He misses the Smoke Bomb. Not that it matters too much. And yeah, Rahagri's Pride doing some work, man. Actually serving as a really good anti-infantry sweeper unit here on the side. And now Nasty Skulkers are for sure going to die here. And the objective should be maintained by the Elves. So now it's on the Greenskins. They need to find a way to get this objective back. Oh my god, we have the... what was the Pokemon's name? Was it Articuno or something? We have the Frostheart Phoenix, and yeah, he's got another big terror-causing monster. Where'd the Flamespire Phoenix go? Is it still alive? I don't know. On the backside, it looks like a little bit of funny business in the woods. We do see some Silverhelms coming. Okay, Silverhelm pressuring the back objective. I really like this. Like, this flank pressure is what you need to be doing. You need to be doing this type of stuff, right, to get your opponent off balance. It's just like in, jiu-jitsu, for example. If you're going for, like, somebody's got you in a bad position, you can sometimes threaten, a submission, even if you don't want to go for the submission. You're just doing it to force your opponent to defend, which then allows you to maybe sweep them. So it's kind of a similar position here. Frostheart Phoenix moving across, going after the Arachnarok Spider. Spider to Bad Moon active. Extra bonus for Large there. But the Elves are holding on to the points well. Rahagri's Pride, and where are they going? Are they going around the back? Looks like they're going to go chase down some loose archers here. A couple of the Greenskins have come back. Could go for that objective. And it looks like the Flamespire Phoenix did end up dying in that blob. Oh, no, it didn't. It lives! The Flamespire Phoenix, these things are so tough to kill. If it gets its rebirth ability too, that's going to feel so bad for the Greenskins. And it looks like it might, honestly. It's being shot and it's not taking massive burst damage, which is exactly what you want to be doing, right? So 1700, Archer shooting in. And yeah, Puggington, he is like a pug. He's got his giant pug jaws clenching on that bone, the bone being the objectives here, and he is not letting them go, and he is getting a very substantial point lead. The Greenskins are going to have to get an objective back quickly. Is the Flamespire Phoenix going to be getting a rebirth? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So here it comes. It's broken, and is it going to get the rebirth? It's very close, but it's also close to the edge of the map, which means it could just route off. So 600 HP. It does not. So there's a chance that when it procs, it just kills the Phoenix, and that's what happened right there. So the Phoenix did not end up getting the proc. So that's very fortunate for the Greenskins. Very fortunate. Now, Frostheart Phoenix holding on to the point, trying to break down some of the goblins, and it looks like the Greenskins do have the capture weight advantage. While more Silverhelms just riding about, and looks like another Rampage going down. Dude, the Skarsnik MLG rampages this game. FPOD just showing he is the true warlord of 8 Peaks. As he rampages the Life Mage, and then is able to break the mage, or at least terrify it. That was a really nice play there. So Skarsnik still causing problems. This objective being held on by the Elves with all their cavalry. So you see the veteran domination play. Just bringing the cavalry, bringing the speed, and playing that on the points to make it very tough for your opponent to get back. And there are some Reavers holding back objectives, so that should be pretty secured. And the Rahagri's Pride coming around the side, going to be diving into the backfield after the Rock Lobber. Now, I can't help but think the reason why he's diving back here is because he's trying to just use it as a distraction. Having the Greenskins allocate more forces to secure their backfield means they have less up on the point fighting, right? I think that's what's going down. Dude, this Frostheart Phoenix is a menace, though. Yeah, it does have those nice debuff auras, and it looks like the Elves are going to be sending in more White Lions and more Spearmen to try and hold. And the Elves are a very stalwart faction. High Elves are very durable. Incredibly high melee defense. Good combat stats in general, to be fair. The Reavers just bouncing back and forth, cleaning up the Savage Orcs, trying to get rid of the capture weight. We see the Frostheart Phoenix moving in with a very risky fight, actually. For some reason attacks Skarsnik, the Hag, as well as the Spider, all of whom are standing side by side. So I can't help but think that was maybe a little bit of a misclick or a blunder. And here we see the cavalry sweeping. Currently, though, it's 1,200 points for the Pug, guys. This is triple cap territory. So the Greenskins, by the time they're able to get the middle objective, are 100% going to have to get a triple cap. And we're seeing that twice today. That Puggington, even though he was being down in value, he still plays the game very, very well and finds a way to get back in these matches, which is so incredible, man. Very, very high-level stuff. Spears chasing down the Arachnok Spider, Skarsnik as well. I simply think they're not going to have enough time to get the points back. The Greenskins are going to have to start playing for the back objective. So what you do right now is you summon something like a Savage Orc Biggin or an Orc Biggin, and you send it back here. You have to start planning for the triple cap right now. And that's even before you get the middle, right? Because it is that point territory. See, the High Elf Cavalry is just having a clinic here. More Orc Boy Biggins perhaps needed here. Silver Helms just run down these poor squigs. Talk about a size difference. Make a little bit of water. Anakin, I'm too weak. I just recovered from a cold. That's why I didn't stream last week. I had this just awful sinus cold just all week. So, it's pretty much gone now. But, yeah, it was, I missed you guys. I missed streaming, hanging out with all of you. Arachnok Spider, Skarsnik, and the Giant River Troll Hag on their way in. We do see the Frostheart Phoenix coming to perhaps cycle charge and get some terror routes. And the Greenskins are not going to have enough time. 1350. The back objective is actually being threatened by the elves as well. Dude, this is beautiful, beautiful mobile cap play. Like, he is all over the place. He's taking objectives. He's threatening back caps. And now what's even so beautiful about this play is it's going to be forcing the Greenskins to send something back here or lose this objective, which then takes pressure off 2 and 3. It's so clean, man. So clean. So the Goblins get routed in a matter of seconds. That objective's going to be flipping. This is 6 capture weight right here for the Pug. And this Pug is unleashed, man. He is truly a tyrant. Yeah, so objective 3, objective 2, and that is going to be a rock hard triple cap. Something you have to remember too, guys, Imrik did get a lot of healing, so the value differential, even though the Greenskins probably do have a value lead, there are 3 SEM characters, can't be everywhere at once, right? GG, well played, guys. That's game blouses. The Pug has done it once again. Really, really good high elf play. Despite, losing his lord in a very dramatic fashion, he still managed to stay in the game. Stayed very, very calm. As we do see the high elf cavalry letting loose a mighty battle cry as they run down the orcs here. Yes, Howard Dean is apparently now an honorary high elf. Middle objective starting to flip, but it's too little, too late. GG, well played, guys. The Pug is an absolute problem. 3 wins today. That is going to be a very tough score to beat. Very, very tough score to beat as we go on to the next match. Dude, I love the Howard Dean yell. It's so good. It's like one of my favorite memes of all time. I don't even think it's really a meme. Yeah, the Howard Dean thing. I haven't heard it on any other streams or anything. It's fun. All right. So, the Pug continuing to win. And looking at the Greenskin army, they had some Orc Boy Biggins, but maybe it wasn't enough. Like, a lot of the Greenskin army was very vulnerable here, right? To the cavalry. Like, all lightly armored. Like, maybe some Black Orcs mixed in could have done it. Maybe it could have. Pugs are fierce creatures indeed, I know. I love pugs. Cute little doggies. The Pug Zerker. All right, on to Celestial Lake. We're going to be giving a showcase to all of as many Total Tavern map packs. We'll even do Codel's Mistwood, which is a really fun aesthetic map. It's not the most balanced map, but it's really, really cool. It's just a lot of like narrow lanes and forests and things like that, but it's still really, really cool. We'll do it. Okay, so taking a look here. Where are we at? All right, so who's going to be the next challenger? I think FPod is still talking. No, I'm not playing today. My hands are acting up a little bit. I painted minis for far too long yesterday, and yeah, cursed hand problems. All right, FPod, we got to just get the show on the road. So anyone is welcome to join to try and unseat the Pug. So let us see if it's going to happen. Flash. Yeah, I've seen him before. All right, so let's put Fidel for short. Let's do this. There we are. And we are all set. Okay, so now it is time to determine the fate of these mighty champions. And here we go. All right, going to the news. Where is that? Perfect. Here we go. What's it going to be? This is for the Pug. Sigmar's blessings, yes. Oh. The Ogre Kingdoms. All right, guys, raise them hands up for the ogres. And who are they going to be playing today? Will he channel his inner flying taco? Okay, what's it going to be? Nurgle! Oh, the Chungus fight. All right. So we have Puggington on the Ogres and Fidel on the Forces of Nurgle. Now, Fidel, if you want to reroll, you need to message me. You need to message me. All right. Okay, looking good. And there we are. I feel like Fidel will probably want to reroll. I wouldn't be surprised. Although Nurgle honestly can fight Ogres okay. It's definitely Ogre favored, but it's not to say you can't win it. I hope we see the Chunguses. Is he going to reroll? Let's see. I have no messages here. I have nothing going on. All is calm in the realm. Okay. Where are we at? Yep, no rerolls. But Puggington is... Oh, I should probably tell him what he's on. I don't know if he has a stream on right now. Let me message him. Ogres. You're the Chungus Kingdoms. That's a very thick matchup. Yeah, these are some big boys. What would I do if I were playing Nurgle against Ogres? I'd probably spam armor. I'd probably go 5 Chaos Warriors with shields as my battle line. And Great Unclean One. Yeah, KOTH is okay. He's a bit of a big target. But, like, that's the thing. Ogres, like, shooting is good, but it still takes a while to kill him. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, probably Warrior spam. Okay, yeah, no, for sure. I'd go Warrior spam. I'd go Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Nurgle of Death for Spirit Leeches. And maybe yeah, Buna's not that useful there. Yeah, I don't know. Lord of Nurgle's really good, though, too. Rotflies are just trash. Toads are pretty trash in that matchup. Bring a couple Furies to try and shut down ranged tools. Yeah, he's going for it, man. He's embracing Nurgle. He did not want to reroll. Who is the largest Chungus in the game? Probably KOTH, yeah. He's definitely the biggest of boys, I think. It's tough to say. It's really tough. God, man. When are we going to get chat back in this game? You know? Can we get like a little chat box so I can like talk to the players here? I can't believe we don't have chat. It's like it's perplexing. Age of Empires has chat, yeah. Company of Heroes 3 has chat. Every other game I pretty much play. I play Ultima Online, which is an MMO from 1997. That game has chat. I just don't get it, man. I know the chat was really haggard before. Maybe they're trying to redo it, but just at least leave us with the crappy one until you get a new one. Yeah. Yeah, Rotflies having anti-large would be really nice, actually. Although I think in thematically, I think Rotflies are more designed to kill infantry, so it wouldn't make too much sense. I think Nurgle is going to get some like true anti-large at some point, because Nurgle struggles against big things hard. You know, you can use throwing axes in your Great Unclean Ones and Beasts of Nurgle, but it's really like not a super awesome solution. Yeah, I think the Creative Assembly didn't want to do chat just to avoid the, you know, I don't know, toxic element of things. I have no idea. But like, you know, here's the thing again. The fact that we don't have chat, it's this game was designed for single player. So chat doesn't really, it's not a priority. I understand where they're coming from in that regard. Like why it's, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you can't, like that's the problem. You can't even play games with strangers because there's no communication. Yeah, thankfully, I mean, but if you're having that problem, I recommend joining our Discord. We have a lot of great people who are playing all the time. And we're going to be adding a bot where you can queue and play. Tim the Wilder is working on that bad boy. So we're going to be adding a bot in our Discord, very, very similar to like Anticity's old bot, where you can queue up and get matches. So you won't have to worry about just crappy ladder experiences anymore. How do you deal with superior range of Tzeentch? It would depend on the army you're playing against. But yeah, typically Tzeentch can bring shielded warriors in press. You can also use Furies. You can dodge those shots. It really depends on what you're playing. I need more info. If you give me a matchup and just tag me again, I can answer your question in a more thorough fashion. Yeah, Exalted Heroes of Nurgle are really good. Not against Ogre Kingdoms. Against Ogre Kingdoms, you want to bring Cultists. So, Fidel, if you're listening, here's your build. Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Nurgle. Most likely. Or you could go Rotfly. Yeah, you could go actually Rotfly with Lord of Nurgle. Double Cultists on foot with just the summons. Wall of shielded Chaos Warriors, and then, you know, bring whatever else you like from there. That's really the core. CA should bring back chat, but you can only use in-game voice lines. That'd be really fun. Yeah, you could communicate, for sure. There's a lot of dialogue in this game. Chat got killed when it got added to Epic. Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't know that there was some nuance to that. Will the bot take experience into account? Yeah, there's going to be an elo system. Yeah, so like as you lose games or win games, you'll play stronger opponents. But if there's not enough people queuing, obviously it'll put you against who's there. But you'll lose less elo if you lose, kind of thing. CA should add taunts. That'd be really fun. What units are Kislev waiting for in a DLC? It's kind of like, not a lot of people know, but yeah, I don't think, like, what could they add? They could probably get like some more like swamp type creatures and like kind of like monsters. Like a Baba Yaga type character, right? Like a swamp witch would be really cool. And they already have a character in the flavor text. It's like, what's her name? Mother Ostankia or something like that. Yeah, is the name that they like have hinted at. So that my wager would be that Kislev will get like a wise woman swamp witch DLC. They'll come with her, and it'll have like a couple unique like kind of units from the Fen, sort of. Yeah, monsters, units, hags. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do. Yeah, bears riding bears. They're just gonna have like just polar bears riding polar bears with beer with beers. I meant to say spears, but beers. Yeah, bears drinking some hard spirits, riding on bears. That's going to be the plan. I actually liked Hearthstone when it first came out. I used to play it a lot back in 2011 and 12. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it just got like it became hard to keep up without just spending a bunch of money. And at the time didn't have a lot of dough. My job paid very, very poorly that I had at the time. So we need taunts for Wolfric. Yeah, that would be really cool. That would be really, really cool. Flying bears as well. Yeah. They could have bears that have... Orson has granted them wings and they can fly around. That'd be pretty brutal. Bears riding bears, wielding bears. They've been hinting at Mother Ostankia DLC for a year. Yeah, it's in the flavor text. There's been stuff like that in Warhammer 2, though, where they had something in flavor text and it never came to fruition. But yeah, I think that's got to happen. Kislev needs more stuff. There's a cool faction. They're just very limited on what they have. Very limited, so they become very predictable. All right, guys, I'm going to go grab some water real quick and refill my cup, and I'll be right back. The only mod we're using is the Total Tavern Tournament Map Pack. That is the only one. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Gonna grab some water. All right, guys, we're back. Let's see what's going on. Where are we at? The battle is loaded in. The time of heroes is upon us. And let us take a look at the armies. So, for the build here of the Ogres, it's going to be Ogre Bulls backed up by dual weapons. Very standard. Dual weapons are very good against Nurgle because the one thing Nurgle does well is infantry. So that's going to be quite good. On top of that, it looks like there's going to be some shooting. So we have Lead Belchers in the backfield to blast into the big targets. And yeah, basically you just sit these Lead Belchers on top of Kugath the entire game and just hope they can eventually kill him. That's going to be it. On top of that, we do have a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw, and I believe there was a Scrap Launcher somewhere as well. Scrap Launcher is not bad. Just sit it on some Chaos Warriors and you're going to be doing okay. Now, on the other side, ladies and gentlemen, oh man, it is going to be Marauders of Nurgle. That's fun in games, but it is the dreaded Uncle for Uncle KOTH combo, the Bronzodia combo of the gods. Oh yes, look at him just cackling in slow motion. On the other side, we also have a cultist. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of like one of those builds that just brings a bunch of big targets, and if they can somehow survive, maybe you can win the game, but it's going to be tough. This is going to be very, very tough. Ogres have pretty good shooting with between the little troll Noblar trappers throwing ninja stars at you, as well as lead belchers. Yeah, but I mean, I guess there's two of them. There's two big boys here. Furuncle should have a Mortis engine, for sure. That's what they should have done with him, giving him a Mortis. Like, his Toxic Deluge ability is cool and all, but it's really not that good. Yeah, it's a little bit mediocre. Oh, that's some good water right there. Stay hydrated, my friends. I love the sumo stomps. I think that's one of my favorite things CA did is the Haggard sumo stomps on the big boys. They have some really good idle animations. Well, nonetheless, Furuncle is ready to go. He's going to be marching forward, and it is some Chaos Warriors of Nurgle with some Marauders as well. So I don't hate it. You know what you could kind of do is you could like take Furuncle and 2 infantry units here, and then the rest could just defend and kind of rotate between the 2 points. That's probably what you're going to be doing. Ogres and Puggington are going to be moving up. You know, I'm surprised we didn't get the Greasening. I thought we would get a Greases today. I thought that would be the way, but I mean, I guess Furuncle is a pretty solid meme for sure. In the backfield to get Marauder Horsemen and Throwing Axes to get a little bit of utility and mobility, which obviously Nurgle is very thirsty for. They don't have too much of that. So Throwing Axes against Ogres, they're okay. You know, the Javelins are better in my experience, but even still, the Throwing Axes can drag down big targets, and they can kill things like Scrap Launchers and, you know, Ogre Cavalry if they decide to bring anything like that. So here they come. Noblars, Trappers, and Ogre Bulls going to be running up to the point. That is going to be very tough for your boy Nurgle to get. Ogres are one of the best capturing factions in the game because their units are fast, they have high capture weight, and generally are, I mean, I wouldn't say durable, but yeah, the 54 speed on those guys is pretty nuts. It is pretty nuts for sure. I'm sorry, guys. There's no Greasening today, but Greases may make an appearance later. You never know. It could happen. It could happen for sure. So Uncle Furuncle is going to be hustling up to the side point here while the Marauders prepare to secure objective number 1. And that's the good idea. Going for objective 2 with a big Nurgle blob is 100% how you want to play this game. Also, this is a blunder. KOTH should be in melee. Even though he can throw toilet seats at people, or you know, little turds or whatever, from his toilet seat, he needs to be up on the objective. He is a better melee fighter, so that's a mistake. I know Uncle Furuncle's heading over there, and we do have a couple of Chaos Warriors. It looks like there's going to be, oh my god, they're so blobbed. Oh god, if that Ogre character has some sort of a spell. No, he doesn't. Okay. Very lucky for those guys. So Furuncle chilling in the bushes, and KOTH needs to get rolling. There he goes. Yeah, because he can roll and throw at the same time, so he needs to just move up on that point. And then the advantage being is, if you're Nurgle and you secure objective 1, and they push to try and counter you on your weak objective, you have quicker supply lines, which for Nurgle is huge. So for Nurgle, you would want to secure this one with your big Chunguses for sure. And we see Uncle Furuncle getting a little bit beat up there, so we take some Ninja Stars. Marauder Horsemen being harried by the Lead Belchers, it looks like, or maybe some Noblar Scrappers, couldn't quite tell. Scrappers, Trappers. They are Scrappers and Trappers. But it looks like there's going to be some Ogre Bulls. You know what infantry is actually best? One of the Chaos Warriors are really good in this matchup, but so too are Plague Bearers. They both trade very well into Ogre troops in my experience. We get some Furies coming in, but they're just going to dive and should be able to, you know, get shut down pretty quickly by the Ogres supporting nearby. Furies normally can actually straight up just kill Lead Belchers, but if there are some Ogres nearby, like Slaughtermaster and these bad boys, they can usually do the trick. Is that me? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, one of the players is... Their Potato is fighting valiantly for life here. Classic. It wouldn't be Total War Warhammer multiplayer if we didn't have some Haggard Potato connections. It's just it's the culture, man. It's the culture. Nice stream of corruption, potentially. Yep, goes into the Trappers, and now we get the Cultists, and this is all we care about. Screw the rest of the battle. Let's watch some Furuncle action. So he's getting in there, and he's going to be chopping through some of the Goblins. Talk about overkill, as these... he didn't actually kill a single Noblar with that attack. It looks like a very hard hit, but didn't quite do the trick. So, yeah, KOTH needs to decide where he's going to go. Might not be a bad idea to send one big Chungus to each objective. Here we see the Lead Belchers getting back online as the Furies are taken apart by the Ogres, and looks like Chungath is going to be going to the side point. Granted, the Ogres don't really have much here to begin with, and I think that KOTH should go back to Objective 1. Seeing how the Ogres are playing, that's probably going to be how you want to approach this. So Chaos Warriors and Plague Bearers fighting, but Lead Belchers getting point-blank shooting. We have Blood Belchers just ripping them apart right here. We do also have the Noblar Scrap Launcher. Nurgle going to be summoning in some reinforcements. We do get Exalted Plague Bearers, which I don't hate that idea. It gives you a little bit of utility. And now KOTH going to be getting Ninja Stars in the back here from the Noblar Trappers, but he cares not, and will be advancing up to the point and should be able to get that, honestly. Frunkel going to be attacked by some Ogre Bolt dual weapons. I bet you... Alright guys, how many of you guys think that Frunkel is going to get over 1,000 value this game? So far he's at 200. Let me know in chat, you over 1,000 or under? Let us know. We will see who is right at the very end. I personally think under, but that's just me. KOTH Plaguefather moving up on the point. Looks like it's going to be secure. The Ogres are going to be routed. So now Nurgle just needs to find a way... Where'd their infantry go? What the hell? They need to find a way to hold on to the back point. Now Plague Toads are pretty bad against Ogres because Ogre Bulls dominate them in combat. And yes, maybe having one as a utility piece to clear out Noblars isn't bad, but in this case, it's just going to be Plague Toads getting attacked by these Bulls here. And looks like Bullgorger is active as well. So their melee attack's currently 52. Nurgle does get some Exalted Plague Bearers up in the point, and they are holding on to it. So you know what? Nurgle is holding 2 points here, which is good. And they obviously have healing as well to be taken into account. The KOTH is back here chasing these guys off. And now, you know, for Nurgle, you really have to decide where you're going to be going with the big chunguses. Where are you going to be sending KOTH? Where are you going to be sending Frunkel? They need to be getting active. And personally, what I would probably do is send... this is going to be a harder one to hold because it's closer to the Ogres. I would probably send Frunkel back to the home objective and just leave KOTH over here to hold this one. That would be my 2 cents. But Toad's getting massacred, obviously. Puggington really, really giving this army quite a bit of punishment. Oh my god. The Exalted Plague Bearers are just getting last samurai'd by the Lead Belchers. Absolute brutality, guys. They're just getting wrecked. Oh my goodness. Well, they're at 1 leadership and they're going to be dying. And, you know, I think we're seeing the writing on the wall a little bit as Nurgle does manage to hold on to this point, but they are just getting enveloped, guys. The Ogres have a full surround. Somehow, Palpatine has returned, and the Ogres have gotten a full surround. Like, look at this. They have the Nurgle forces just trapped. The Exalted Plague Bearers just get mowed down by the Lead Belchers. And Ogre Bulls will dominate Nurgle Marauders at the Great Open. So, Fidel, if you're watching this back, you don't really need to bring Great Weapon Infantry against the Ogres. You want to take the higher melee defense shields, if anything, because the Great Opens, most Ogres aren't armored. Iron Guts aren't a very common pick, and the Ogre Cavalry are okay, but you have other things to deal with that. You typically don't want the Great Weapons here. But yeah, this back objective taken by the Chungus Kingdoms, and now it's basically just KOTH getting surrounded and beaten down, while the Ogres continue to just absolutely dominate this one. And yeah, there's a reason why Nurgle is the worst faction in the game. Granted, I do think that there's an experience difference between these 2 players. I think Puggington is probably a more experienced tournament player, but it's not as if Fidel is playing really badly. Granted, he did also bring a meme build on top of it, right? Like going for Uncle KOTH is a meme build. Let's not mess around here. So he made it harder on himself. I have been able to beat Ogres with Nurgle before, but it's definitely tricky. It's definitely trickier. So down here, KOTH Plaguefather going to move over to the point, and yeah, he'll hold on to that one for a while. But the Ogres got that double cap, and Nurgle cannot afford to sit here. Frunkel also extending out into the deep pretty far. He's getting Noblar Trappers and the Man-Eaters with pistols, one of my favorite units on the Ogre roster. These guys just going to be ripping fat pistol shots. So there they go. Frunkel getting shot in the face. Boom. He gets popped. Some big HP damage going down. And one sec, guys. Just got to adjust something here. Sorry about that. Almost knocked my mic off the desk there, my arm stand. But we do see Frunkel trying his best, you know, but just getting popped by those guys. A lot of Ogre models. We have 8,200 to 2,300 as KOTH is basically just getting the scraps. And he is just straight up going after, you know, Noblars. I mean, that's really all he's able to catch. Yeah, that's his role in life. He's just got to go after those units. But yeah, Frunkel's going to be dying out in open field. This is like a competitive Ogres build too. This was not like a fluffy Greasus build. This was like a very like Ogres are coming to get you kind of build, right? Which is pretty great. Yeah, Ogre Man-Eater pistols are really good. They're awesome in melee too. Like they shoot at range, and with their high combat stats and good armor piercing, they can fight things like Chaos Warriors. So Frunkel being terrible as usual. All right, let's see who is right. Do we have the over? Oh, 873. He's pushing for the 1,000, baby. But he's crumbling pretty quickly. I don't know if he's going to get it. If he focuses down the Slaughtermaster, he might be able to get the over 1,000. Okay, 885. All right, guys. Sorry for all of you Chads in chat who believed in Uncle Frunkel. He didn't quite make it. And, you know, usually in my experience, he usually gets around like 800. Oh, 973. Oh, my God. He's going for it. The miracle. Frunkel, no! 973. He didn't quite make it to 1,000. And the sumo wrestler has fallen over, ladies and gentlemen. As the ogres are coming to get you. Oh no. And the Sky Strider's coming out as well. Oh man, anti-large beat sticks. KOTH is in some serious danger. I mean, he's a great fighter, one of the best fighters in the entire game, actually. Like, straight up, anybody trying to fight KOTH, he usually will beat you. Like, he is a monster, but yeah, this is going to be a bully beatdown here. As now we have some of the better anti-large cavalry in the game just going ham on KOTH. And I would imagine the pistols will be shooting as well soon. On the backside, it looks like there's some Nurgle toes. They're trying to get out, but it's just like the ogres are just all over them right now. He tried, guys. He tried. He didn't get there. He made a last desperate play to get that 1,000, yeah. But he wasn't quite able to close it. Bit of a shame. He almost got 1,000. Yeah, he cost like 2,000 something. we were hyping him up there. We were hyping him up. It was his moment in the sun. But yeah, this game's over. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fidel tap out. Maybe when KOTH dies, he'll leave the game. But until then, yeah, there's no chances. Like, literally, as he summons units in, the value difference is so brutal that the ogres are just taking him to Pound Town so incredibly hard. So incredibly hard. So there they go. Good night, sweet ogres, or excuse me, Nurglites would be the word, I suppose. Saber-Tusk Pack sitting on objective 1. Nurgle's got some Marauder Horsemen going to be screaming across here. KOTH is, you see how much of a raid boss KOTH is, though? He's literally being attacked by anti-large cav and being shot, and he is just, I think KOTH is really underrated. KOTH has managed to get 1,500 value. Will he get over 2,000? I think he will. With the Mortis Engine, hitting some of the Noblars, maybe he's going to be able to kind of close that gap a little bit. But yeah, man, it's going to be rough. Backfield, we see the Plague Bears and the Toads getting karate chopped. A couple Noblars just waiting and trying to screen out the Vanguard point there, which is pretty hilarious. The Cultists has come back, and Nurgle is just kind of sitting here. They don't have the capture weight. They have 6 capture weight, and the Ogres have like 10 or 15 here, which is pretty brutal for sure. Pretty brutal. Warnfang Cavalry going to be chasing down the Marauder Horsemen. Fidel with a dreaded back cap, so he's moving in. Trying to get these throwing axes, which I love. This is a very Chad play, but yeah, not going to work out. The Ogres are very quick. They're going to get there very swiftly. And do we have any reinforcements coming in? The Ogres are currently banking 2,000 supplies, which I have no idea what they're possibly saving for. I mean, are they going to bring out like, I don't know, like more Warnfang Cavalry or something, I suppose? Oh man, Iron Guts. Yeah, he's bringing out the Iron Boys. I do like that. KOTH's on death's bed. We got 14,000 value to about 5. Pretty massive value cap, to say the least. Oh my god. Frunkel's terrible, honestly. Like, trying to win against a top-tier player with Frunkel in a bad matchup is we got to give props to Fidel here. That is brutal. And look at KOTH. He's just getting like kitchen, forks and spoons and knives thrown at him and just being blasted point blank, and he just straight up can't move. And he's even being cyclocharged by this Slaughtermaster here. Look at him going on his motor scooter. Reminds me of a sight at Walmart. So KOTH trying to move. 1,500 HP, being rear charged by the Sky Striders. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. So GG, well played. The big old ogres have dominated the forces of Nurgle. And yeah, that is it. Hey, Melody, thank you. I've tricked my partner into watching you. Turn watching time reclaimed. There you go. You gotta get the whole family involved. Melody, I hope you and your partner are doing very well and life is treating you guys good. Hope the miniature painting is good, and yes, I'm looking forward to getting back into painting some minis as well. 2,000, 973, 500, pretty brutal. Yeah, I mean, it's too much. It's too much. Like, Frunkel sucks. He's terrible, and you also just can't cover enough ground, and the ogres are just gonna swarm you if you play a build like that. A valiant effort, though, by Fidel. And the King of the Hill stands firm. The pug is truly unleashed. Currently, the score to beat is 4. And we are at about the 2-hour mark here. So time is going. Hey, we got Outer Region. So let's get the Codel's Mistwood. So that's going to be the map. Hopefully the players are privy with this one. It's very, very fun. And wild. So let's go roll for the factions. So now we're going to be randomly selecting the factions that the players will be playing. And I have to say, today we've been getting a pretty good spread of factions. It's been a lot of different ones. Oh, you didn't bring the Mortis Engine? You should. You should. Yeah, because it's still good against Noblars and things like that. Yeah, it's always worth bringing. Dark Elves for Puggington versus... We can't roll Nurgle again, so the Nurgle player is safe. That's a horrific matchup. Oh my god, Nurgle trying to beat Dark Elves is horrible. Tomb Kings. Okay. That's kind of exciting. So it will be Tomb Kings versus Dark Elves. Well, Puggington gets Dark Elves versus Tomb Kings. And his opponent, who is going to be, I believe it was Outer Region, and you're going to be getting Tomb Kings. We'll see if any of them want to reroll. Reroll or no? I actually don't know how this matchup goes. Probably just bring like a Fire Sorcerer, some Blackheart Corsairs would be my 2 cents. We need some grudges satisfied. I know we haven't gotten any. We did get Bretonia, but they got rerolled earlier. I lost in a flash. Hey, Fidel, we're proud of you, man. You did great. It's a brutally hard matchup, and you memed. So like you kind of just sealed your own doom there. The odds of you winning were very low with that build you brought. Unless your opponent like really blundered something, like really blundered. All right, Dark Elves vs Tomb Kings on KOTH's Mistwood. Pretty cool map. It is a very cool map. Go Pug for the Dark King. Yes. So here's what we're gonna do. If Puggington manages to win this, he will win the stream because we won't have enough time for anybody to pass his score. But if Outer Region wins, we'll give Outer Region the opportunity to pass Puggington's score in today's King of the Hill. So if Puggington wins it, he will win today's King of the Hill, and then we'll close out with an FFA battle. Hey, Gunhound, sorry about this morning, dude. For some reason on my calendar, I wrote down the Age stream was on Tuesday. I don't know why I had that. Just a brain slip. So apologies, man. We'll do something fun this week. I can assure you. Malice is actually good here. Malice is really good. He can fight all the Tomb King's lords in combat, including Cetra, and he's yeah, and then you can just bring a Firecaster with him and do pretty well. He made him too close to the sun. It's true. It is very, very true. This is a cool map, though. It's very, very pretty. You guys will see. How's life treating everybody? You guys all doing good? I'm so excited for some of the new games we have coming up. It's kind of a bummer that Blood Bowl and Company of Heroes release on the same day. They both release on February 23rd. Yeah, it's like, man, I guess we'll have to have a doubleheader that day. Who would win, Dark Elves or AoE 4 Imperial? Are you talking about, is that some sort of a meme reference, or are you talking about the Malians? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I mean, Dark Elves would for sure win. I mean, they have dragons, they have magic, they have hydras. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would just be like fighting the Empire of sorts, right? But even the Empire has magic too, right? So, what do you think about Nurgle Chaos Knight build against Ogres? Oh, it's okay. The problem is Nurgle Chaos Knights will get, like, they'll get tar pitted, and then they're going to get shot by Lead Belchers, and you're going to lose a ton of value. Like, Lead Belchers, blasting them is going to be really painful. Yeah, Gunhound, I jumped onto your stream for a bit. I was watching it. It was awesome, dude. Yeah, and if you ever want to do YouTube stuff, you just let me know, man. We could happily chat about that. All right, Outer Region is ready. Hey, Badger. Thanks for all the awesome PvP content. Been watching you for a while. First time catching you live. Well, Badger, I'm happy to have you here, my friend. And more PvP content to come. Whatever games are on the horizon, we'll be covering the multiplayer aspect of those. As long as they have like a strategy element, I'm in. Don't really care for like first-person shooters and things like that. They're fun, you know, but I like the most dangerous game. Nothing like avoiding Monday morning by staying up to watch the stream. I know, I hate that. There's nothing. See, I don't even, this is my full-time job now, but I still dread Sunday nights for some reason. Like when they come around, I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's just that same fear. Yeah, that same fear. Starting working out and dieting to lose your Nurgle physique. That's good, man. Got to take care of yourself. You know, I'm kind of in the similar boat right now, trying to start exercising again. Great to finally catch a stream. Thoughts on Kiss of Arwars? All right. Hey, Billy. Cheers from Edinburgh. Let's see. So, Kiss of Arwars. The Oath Brothers of Tor are not bad. Like, if you're going to be going Warbear Rider, they're a decent inclusion. Dazen's Hearthblades, like, Great Weapon Zargard aren't that great of a unit to begin with, so I don't know if I'm a huge fan of them. I think basic Zargard are probably the way to go. But yeah, Kislev doesn't really have too many RORs, do they? Yeah, they have the Bears, they have the Hearthblades. And the Frostbear, actually, I don't hate. The big Frostbear, I've been winning games with that against good players. Having a Heart of Winter on like an Elemental Bear is not bad. It can sometimes win big engagements. Yeah. Are we starting the match soon? Whenever the players are ready. That's the problem. That's one of the downsides of Total War Warhammer is we have to wait for the players to do their builds. But yeah, we'll be starting soon. Would try Elden Ring. Yeah, I would play Elden Ring if it was an RTS, but it's not. So I don't really like playing against AI. You know, it's like, because the thing about AI, okay, is like eventually, unless you're, you know, talking like, you know, one of those chess engines or something, sure. But if we're talking like AI for typical game, like single player games, it's just like eventually you just learn how to beat it, and the replayability isn't great for me. Whereas like in Age of Empires or Total War, like, yeah, there's a meta to an extent, but the meta can be defied, and People can change builds, and it's just constantly evolving. Even when the game's in a very dry state, the things can shift, which is very fun. Yeah, the raid boss bear. Yeah, ogre shooting is good. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not like brutal, but it's pretty good. ROR stands for Regiment of Renown. So it's like an elite special unit, basically. Yeah. All right, we got Malice Meme Blade, guys, versus Ark in the Black. Will the pug become fully unleashed? Find out here today, ladies and gentlemen, as he chews on his leash to escape and do glorious battle here with the Tomb Kings. He's got triple Scourge Hunter Chariots. Obviously pretty good at running over lightly armored infantry, which is the name of the game for the Tomb Kings, and also shooting at large targets. Big fan of Scourge Runners, although they're a little bit vulnerable against Ushapti Great Bows. Hopefully the players know what this map is like. This is a map we don't usually use for tournaments, but it's very fun. It's a very cool looking map. This is going to be KOTH's Mistwood here. You guys think the pug is going to get it? Well, you could perhaps be right. The pug could be unleashing its full fury here. Outer region is ready to go. And let's take a look at the build. So, Bleak Swords, obviously one of the better rank and file units in the game, actually. Bleak Swords got a buff in Warhammer 3 to their stats, and they actually just are quite strong. So, Bleak Swords, Scourge Hunter Chariots, great dual purpose here. Tomb King's infantry are almost all lightly armored. I think they all are, actually. I don't think they have any armored infantry, really. So, Scourge Hunters can run them over, and their ballistas on top. The bolt throwers can shoot at any number of big targets and snipe things, and it's really, really great. On top of that, we got Malice Meme Blade on foot. I do like Foot Blade. I think that he's going to be really good at just sitting on an objective and being an unholy nightmare to kill. So I do like that, and that's pretty much it with some Dark Shards in the back. Dark Shards obviously there to kill constructs and monsters and Ushapti and all that sort of stuff like that. If you need some people for Blood Bowl stream to play, hey, get in our Discord. We'll be opening up a Blood Bowl section in our Discord when the game comes out, and I'm going to be running a league. Anyone who wants to join is welcome to join. We're going to get as many people as we can. We're going to run a big league. We're going to have a Super Bowl. We'll make a trophy for the winner and all that. It'll be really fun. So that will be going down. On the other side, Ark in the Black and Outer Region is going to be here, casting some evil death magic, spirit leeching, most likely just going to be targeting Malice the whole game. We got a Casket of Souls, which I really like. Casket of Souls is a great answer against infantry and archers, and even cavalry, so you can just sit this on the Dark Shards the entire game, and you're going to probably get your value back. Halberds and Sepulchral Stalkers, all right. Now on the other side, we do have some Tomb Guard Halberds, and some basic Tomb Guard here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be it. Bob, happy birthday, Turin. Curious what people think of the maps with capturable objectives. You mean where the objectives have have different points, you're saying? So if you guys have some feedback, do you guys like the maps where objectives give you Vanguard points, like the Crater of Decay, like KOTH's Mistwood, all that sort of stuff? I know what you mean, Bob. I know what you mean. You're talking about maps where objectives give you a Vanguard point. I personally am a big fan of it on some maps. I really like the obviously I haven't played this map too much, but Crater of Decay, I really like it because it opens up a different playstyle and different tactics, which I think is very, very fun. So Ark in the Black is going to be running through the trees. We have Objective 2, and we have Objective 1 and Objective 3. So there's a little bit of a lane here, but you have to work through the forest. Dude, this map is so pretty looking, though. Oh, man, it's so cool. Kind of that dark forest. Hey, Dome. I've been with it for a while, and I'm glad to see you still kicking. Hey, man, we're still going, dude. We're still going. And he says, I like special objective maps. There you go. So Bob's getting some feedback. I sent the message before I finished typing. No worries, Bob. It happens to the best of us, my friend. So Scourge Runners moving up. Sepulchral Stalkers, though, they're sneaky and they're hidden. So if you come too close, they're going to be able to get some laser beams on you and blast those chariots down. Chariots could also go over here and get some freebies if they want to, but yeah, immediately, look at that. Sepulchral Stalker ambush. Ripping some shots into the chariots. We get Spirit Leech coming down from Ark in the Black as well. And the Casket of Souls is raining some hot fire onto the Bleak Swords. And it looks like the Dark Elves are going to move through the trees. Yeah, they're going to contest this here, here, and here, which I think is the way. And Malice Meme Blade is going to push up. Dark Elves going for a triple press. So by triple press, it means that they're going to be playing all 3 points. Instead of just hunkering down and playing tactically on 2, they're going to be trying to overwhelm the opponent's position with superior units and try and just get all 3, which I think is kind of cheeky. One chariot getting hunted here pretty heavily by the Nahakara Horsemen, but should be able to pull back to Malice. Dark Elves going to be playing a little bit more cautious back here. Nope, now they're moving up. So the Dread Spears and the Bleak Swords and all the guys going to be moving up to the point. Back objective should be an easy free cap, and it looks like that one's going to be taken by the Dark Shards. And the problem is Malice is going to be a nightmare, man. He's going to be able to grind on this objective, but it will take Malice some time to kill all these units. He's not huge damage, But he does have some AoE spells. More so when he turns into his demon, but even still, he tries his best. Firecaster's on the way over. It's a pretty strong combo. Put Malice down and then get the infantry to blob on top of Malice and then use Burning Heads. So very, very good. And now Malice is going to be arriving at the point. Arc in the Black and Sepulchral Stalkers on their way over. And it looks like Spirit Leeches are going to be going down on Malice Meanblade. And is Arkin going to come and fight him? I definitely would not recommend that for Outer Region. You don't want to be fighting Malice up close. He is pretty strong. And it looks like there's a Dark Elf Master in there as well. The Master of Puppets. Bleak Swords versus Tomb Guard. Tomb Guard will win that. Tomb Guard definitely will win these trades. But if a Burning Head gets involved, it can normalize that trade and make it so it is going to be a little bit favored for the Dark Elves. We'll have to see. Casket of Soulsfire doing great work. So far, it's been bombarding the Dark Elf infantry with pretty good efficiency. And now Malice and company just grinding through these Tomb Guard halberds. It's going to take a while, but they should get there eventually. Now, Scourge Runner is going for backfield pressure, but Sepulchral Stalkers of Outer Region are able to intercept them. So very, very good control by Outer Region, really controlling a lot of the center of the battlefield right here. But even still, these chariots are able to shoot as they run, and they are picking off Sepulchral Stalker models. So Manticore's on the way in. Are the Dark Elves going to be moving through the tree line? It's a hell of a lot of Tomb Guard, man. Tomb Guard are one of the tankier, not the tankiest, their armor's kind of low, but in terms of like sustained fighting, Tomb Guard are amazing. The fact that they're undead and unbreakable is so good. Puggington's going to be pulling back Bleak Swords, trying to force an overextension on these Tomb Guard, at which point he can surround and kill them. So really, really good minutia plays, like just these little nuances that really do add up over the course of a long game. Looks like a big Burning Head went down here. We did miss it, so the Bleak Swords were able to get a Burning Head on these Tomb Guard, which means they're winning the fight. The other Tomb Guard on the other side getting Realm of Souls, but look how well the Bleak Swords do. It's honestly not bad. I mean, yeah, they're losing, but Bleak Swords just have amazing combat stats. They even have more melee attack than Tomb Guard, so the Druchii doing it. And here's the thing about Malice. Eventually, he's going to get through these guys. And then suddenly you have these two really sticky characters on this point, which is going to be an unholy nightmare to deal with, right? Value trading's pretty even. As a matter of fact, including Realm of Souls, it's probably like a dead even game. Scourge Runner Chariots and the Manticore is rampaging here. It looks like the Manticore is going to be going after Arc in the Black, and the side point is not being pressured by the Dark Elves in any way. But this is a really good position. Getting the Dark Shards to shoot into the back of these Tomb Guard is brutal. They have silver shields, which is very nice, but if they're just being, popped in the back here, they're going to get wrecked pretty good. Looks like some carrying coming in. Good response from Outer Region. Outer Region able to get that beautiful carrying charge right on top of the Dark Shards. And in response, we get Harpies. Dude, I feel like I'm watching like a Magic the Gathering game where like there's all these like things on the stack, like Counterspell and like, this and that and Path of Exile, whatever. You guys get the idea. So here we get Arc in the Black trying to snipe the caster. Arkin is a very good assassin against like weaker characters. Of course, that's the way the villains usually roll, isn't it? So the Sorcerer's going to be getting gooned, and Arkin might be able to finish off that character if the caster continues to run the wrong way. Caster definitely needs to loop back, but the thing about this Firecaster is, even if it dies, it's not like an expensive resummon. So Reginald Puggington could save up, but we do see Outer Region pull a little bit of a value lead. Back objective is looking like, Cold One Knights. Are they the anti-large knights? They are. They're going to charge in and try and break these halberds as Bleak Swords move up on the point as well, and Malice and company should be able to win that one. This is not easy, man. The Tomb Kings are making them work for it pretty darn hard. Although Cold One Knights somehow magically get a surround on Sepulchral Stalkers, Arc in the Black, and a Tomb Scorpion. Talk about Value City. I mean, eventually they're going to lose it, but they're going to get a ton of value in the process. Great stuff. Greetings from Belgium. Hey, man, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well out in Belgium. On the other side, Malice Darkblade still trading well. Value's very, very even. As we can see, the Cold Moon Knight's going to be pulling back, trying to get away from the Skeleton Warriors. But now everything on this objective is basically chaff, right? So the Dark Elves might be able to start to wrestle this one. They need that Burning Head, though. Losing that Burning Head caster might have potentially been the throw. These Cold Moon Knights did a lot of damage. They almost killed the Stalkers. Looking at the value, I would wager they got about 800 value from that fight. Let's look here, and yeah, about 700. Very, very close. But not bad, considering they occupied 3 very elite units. In the backfield, the Dark Elves did force some of the Tomb King's units into a little bit of an overextension, which is what we were talking about. And now they might be able to kill them and then maybe push up on this point here. Just maybe. So what's really cool about this objective number 2 here is it does open up a Vanguard point. So when you capture the objective on this map, it gives you a free Vanguard point. So it rewards you for playing like a certain side, which I think is very, very neat for sure. Over here, we have more Chaff Infantry coming in. The Dark Elves need some like Corsairs. They need something like kind of killy, because Malice is going to take a long time to kind of wear those units down. Back here, we do have Dark Shards online. Dark Shards going to be trying to snipe Arc in the Black. Corsairs should be able to fight off the Tomb Guard. Corsairs trade super cost effectively, and so them trade upward. And big crossbow volley to the face. Arc in the Black takes a couple hundred damage there, if not 400 or 500. And now he's going to be jumping on the Dark Shards with the Skeleton Summon, which is what we expected, and shutting those bad boys down. So this objective could flip. It depends on how well the Corsairs do. We do also have some Bleak Swords back here. Bleak Sword's going to be moving up to the point. And yeah, not having that Firecaster is a really, really big problem. Like, that thing would clear out all these chaff units, and then Malice probably would have gotten that objective by now. Back here, we have some Cold One Knights attacking Skeleton Horsemen, and Bleak Sword's moving back there as well. Very cost-effective. Cold One Knights will really trade into the Tomb King's Light Cavalry very, very well. And now Bleak Sword's getting up on the point. They're going to be threatening that, and it looks like the Tomb Kings have been cleaned up here for the most part. So the Pug, you know, he looks like he's in danger in a lot of these games, but he just finds these ways to get back into it. It's so scrappy. Dark Elves still have this point. It looks like the Sepulchral Stalkers here are very low. Tomb Guard are up on the point, but the Dark Elves going to be trying to stabilize their backfield position as they use Harpies to try and peel off the Carrion. And Malice is a constant threat, you know, in a very long game. It might not even be a bad idea for him to go Demon form. Although, yeah, see, like, when he goes Zarkan form, when he goes full anime mode here, he gets AoE. He gets Reaper of Souls, which does AoE damage, and you can see he instantly starts clearing these units out. So that I think was the appropriate play, because now he'll kill them quicker. Back here, these Cold One Knights are just, dude, look at these Cold One Knights in the backfield. Look at that. Oh my goodness, they are just rampaging. Value's only 900, but they've been holding back a lot of the Tomb King's army and also threatening this Casket of Souls. More Skeleton Horsemen moving to the point. The Dark Elves have secured this point. Bleak Swords and Dread Spears back here. Dark Shards on their way up. More Dark Shards probably need to be unsummoned. And it looks like they've also stabilized their back point, while Malice Darkblade is also threatening this back point. Puggington's game plan is kind of all coming together here. He's down in about 500 value, but remember, Malice counts as some free value basically because he, he takes damage and then he just heals up to full health in demon form. So it's kind of irrelevant, the damage you do to Malice in his first life. So there was some Spirit Leeches on him and different things like that. But yeah, Malice is just bumping and grinding, man. Is there going to be more Tomb King's capture weight? Doesn't look like it. So here's the thing. When these Skeleton Warriors die, what's going to happen is it'll be 6 capture weight against 5. And, you know, it's kind of an oversight from Creative Assembly, which they need to fix. But Tomb King Skeletons have 5 capture weight, whereas Vampire Counts don't. So it's kind of a silly thing. Maybe they can justify it by saying, like, oh, they're actually sentient. They're not like mindless automatons like the Vampire Counts are. But I don't know. I feel like it's just an oversight. Bloodstorm going down, and that is going to be giving 20% ward save. And dude, this objective is starting to get really, really scary back here. More Skeleton Warriors on their way out. And it looks like there's going to be some Kepra Guard. Oh, I love the Kepra Guard. Kepra Guard moving to this point is a very, very nice choice. Outer Region is up on points, though. Not quite double the points, but certainly a nice buffer there. So Outer Region might be able to kind of cackle his way all the way to the bank in terms of value trading. And he still is maintaining a little bit of a value lead here. But Malice is just tearing it up, dude. He is causing a lot of drama. But the Dark Elves fully secure their backfield. They kill the Stalkers. They kill the Advancing Tomb Guard. He still has all these Chariots, too. Even though they're out of ammo, they're still useful as Chariots. So probably run them over here and use them to run over the Kepra Guard is what you're going to want to be doing. Dark Shards in position. I'm not sure what they're going after. Looks like they're just being sacrificed to Cain, so they're going to be moving up and getting ready to battle the Skeleton Horsemen, I would wager. And on the other side, Malice Beamblade still going hard in the paint, man, battling these Skeleton Spearmen. He is karate chopping away, getting his big blades, and having a good old jolly time. Yeah, I am a big fan of Malice being used in this way. It's very similar to what Warriors of Chaos can do with Sigvald. You just like put him on a point somewhere, and like eventually he'll clear it, and then you have to deal with him, like, or keep sacrificing units to him into the old meat grinder there. So we got some Harpies coming in. Dark Elf secured the back point, and I knew this would happen. On the backfield, we do have the Sorcerers of Fire coming back in, so the Burning Heads are going to be huge. Like, the fact that Outer Region was able to pick off those Burning Heads earlier was such an MLG play. It was very, very good. So Chariots into Kepra Guard, talk about value. It'll certainly wear them down, but Kepra Guard are monsters. Honestly, I think Kepra Guard are one of the best infantry units in the entire game. I'm trying to think of like one infantry unit. Stearnsmen, yeah. Stearnsmen, Kepra Guard, probably some of the best infantry units in the game. And you'll notice there's a recurring motif in that regard. They're both bonus source infantry, they both have regeneration, and they both do magic damage and are undead. So, undead regenerating infantry OP. So he's running from them, using the Manticore to just pick off models, as we do get more Skeleton Spearmen moving back in. On the other side, we do see more Corsairs. Yeah, so it's going to be Dread Spears, and they're pushing this point. While Malice continues to just raid boss it, and Burning Head going down on these Skeleton Warriors, that is going to be so nice. That Goose is getting cooked, man. As those guys just get absolutely Shadow Realms. And a massive HP crumbling. They're going to be going down. Negative 43 leadership. Good night, Sweet Prince. And we could even see a triple cap here. I think the Dark Elves will get this point eventually. They're just going to have to get these Tomb Guard off. Malice will move over there next. The side point is being threatened by the Tomb Kings. It looks like they have a fair amount of capture weight here with their Kepra Guard. Harpy is going to be attacking them in the back, and Dark Shard's putting a little bit of DAC into them, while the Manticore actually gets really, really good value against Ark in the Black. So Arkin obviously doesn't want to be fighting a Manticore. Manticores have been the bane of heroes for a long time. Like, they're just cheap, they do a lot of damage, and are surprisingly mobile. Having like 1 or 2 Manticores back in Warhammer 2 was a very, very common tactic, and we do see that kind of making a bit of a resurgence here. Kepler Guard, clean up the Harpies. No surprise, Harpies are infantry size, so the bonus versus infantry comes into play. This objective could be flipping, but will the Pug be unleashed, and will he secure the side objective? Maybe so. Cold One Knights on their way in. Yep, looks like it's going to be some basic Cold One Knights. And yeah, this objective is going to be going to the Meme Blade. Looks like the Tomb Kings, no, they haven't given up on it. No, they're going to be sending more skeletons into the old meat grinder. But that one's going to flip, and those skeletons are basically going to be sacrificial chaff here. Manticore trying to fight. Kepler Guard, absolute nightmare. Currently probably sitting at a decent amount of value. Bleak Sword's cleaning up these skeletons. Cold One Knights coming in. Double Cold One Knight. Oh, that's going to be tough to stop. Those Cold One Knights are going to be very good here. Granted, there are some Skeleton Spearmen, so maybe the Spearmen can help kind of buffer those guys off with Arc in the Black, dropping Skeleton Summons on them and whatnot. But the Dark Elves are going to lose this point, so basically trading side to side. But Outer Region might be able to maintain it. Let's see, and that objective is going to flip. They don't quite make it. It's so close. And the Dark Elves, yeah, they managed to hold on to the point. Yeah, they got it. Okay. A little bit of false hype there. But, you know, it happens. It happens. So right here, Skeleton Warriors being dragged down. We get Harpies in the back. A little bit of a back cap. Ooh, I love that. So Outer Region going for the cheeky back cap there. So I thought he was going to use those Horsemen to help like save this point. But instead, he loops around with these Nakara Horsemen. And some Cold One Knights are going to come and deal with this. But in a close game where the points are tight like this, like every little like Haggard theft that you can possibly do adds up. That's a beautiful play. Now, one Cold One Knight will defeat both of these units in combat. We also get the Crows of Cain coming in. Crows of Cain going to be attacking into the Nehekara Horsemen. And this objective is flipping back to the Tomb Kings a little bit as well. You know, Malice isn't able to kind of clean everything up. This game's getting very, very scary, man. All 3 points are hotly contested here. As we do get Harpies grinding down Kepler Guard. Dreadspears trying their best, and Cold One Knight's going to get slapped not with a Buna, but a Spirit Leech. Buna would obviously be better, but you know, if you just brought Spirit Leech, it's not like it's bad or anything like that. Dude, this could be a Tomb Kings triple cap right now, guys. Cold One Knight's gonna win this fight eventually, but this little back cap, I think, could have been the the big game-changing play here. But obviously, it's gonna be some pretty favorable trading for the Dark Elves with the Cold One Knights clearing them off. And do we have any more units coming in? It looks like Scourge Hunter Chariots on their way. We got some Idle Dark Shards who could certainly get active. And Malice is, he's trying his best to clean all these off, but it's gonna be a triple cap. He is gonna have to get us a triple cap, 100%. So Cold One Knights looping around. We get Dreadspears holding. Looks like he's going to come around the back and get a rear charge against them, which is going to be very, very needed. Needs to do that quickly, though. But those Dreadspears aren't going to hold that much longer against Kepler Guard, so you're going to need that. This objective starting to flip back. It looks like, is that a new Shopti summon or something? It looks like there was some Witchcraft coming down, but yeah, man. Tomb Kings, really, really good capture weight faction. Back objective is going to be taken back with the Dark Elves, and now they just need to find a way to get this objective. Like, Dark Elves are going to need a triple cap here. It depends on how quickly it happens, but yeah. They need to charge in there. Come on, get the charge. That would break this position. The Tomb Kings would crumble. But he needs to get that charge because he's going to be losing these Dreadspears pretty quickly. And a potential blunder here. Like that like little nuances in a tight game like this really, really matter. Tomb King's holding on to the point, but a Burning Head comes in and does clear off a lot of those units. The Tomb Scorpion has 3 capture weight, and the Horsemen here do have 4. So a lot of capture weight there. And yeah, it's just basically a timer until they can get the triple cap. Good awareness here from Puggington. He sees the play. He gets the rear charge. And all the Tomb Kings here, including Kepler Guard, are going to be pretty close to crumbling. They're sitting in 19 leadership, which is pretty insane. But these skeletons here getting karate chopped by the Bleak Swords. And are the Tomb Kings reinforcing? They are. We see some Nakara Horsemen coming in, just trying to attrition on all these objectives, which is just sheer brutality. Now, this objective flipping back and forth. The Sorceress is broken. Scourge Hunter Chariots up. Malice going to be trying to take that Scorpion down. Cold One Knights are on the way. And man, this is going to be a tight game, ladies and gentlemen. This is just down to the wire. So this one's going to be captured, but will they have enough time to get this back objective? That really is the question. So yeah, the Kepler Guard are just an absolute beast, man. We get some Scourge Hunter Chariots on their way over to try and salvage this situation, but I don't know if they're going to have enough time to get all 3. It's going to be very tight. Obviously, you're going to get this one. Malice can only, he's on foot, so he can't get over there. It's just going to have to be Cold One Knights and mobility and whatever else you can muster heading that way. So this objective's flipping, guys, but not too much time. Kepler Guard doing some great work, though, just being an unholy nightmare. Now you can see the undead spam here, right? We see the Skeleton Horseman coming over here to grab this point and just hold on to it and make it very, very tough for the Pug to get this one back. And what is Pug going to be doing? Yeah, just sending Scourge Hunters. It's really, probably all he has in the tank right now as he does flip this objective. And you see, here's the thing. If the Tomb Kings didn't get that ninja flip on the back objective, it would probably still be in the territory where Puggington could win on 2 objectives. But that back cap was the play from Outer Region. It was a thing of beauty for sure. So Arc in the Black setting over there. Chariots on their way. A lot of scary undead on that point, and it looks like the Pug's run is going to be ended here today by Outer Region. But he played. How many games did he win? Yeah, he won 4 games. So Outer Region will have the opportunity to play until he loses. But yeah, that's going to be a very, very tough score to beat, guys. Very, very tough score. And Puggington still does have a chance of winning the King of the Hill. Now, the 2 Scourge Runner Chariots are on their way in. Going to be running over these units. And could there be... Oh my god, he's kind of moving off the objective a little bit. Could there be a little bit of a cheeky play here? Yeah, we see Harpies on their way. Malice is running on foot. Just pure desperation at this point. As we get the Master and the Dread Spears holding right there. And yeah, the Chariots run over those troops. Very, very good stuff. But they're not going to have enough time. I mean, Harpies and Scourge Runners. If Puggington... I don't know, man. There's just no way you can get that capture weight. The Tomb King should be fighting on the objective 100%. Wait, no way. He has the capture weight. He's got the Chariots. We got more Harpies coming in just to get killing power. And yeah, no, it's not going to happen. We do get the Sepulchral Stalkers moving in. Sepulchral Stalkers will be very, very nice against the Chariots. And if they get up on the point, they can simply fight them in melee, drag them down. Kepler Guard are just such beasts of units, man. They're so tough to finish. If this game had another, 3 minutes, I think that, the Dark Elves probably would be able to get this. But Outer Region, with the very, very sneaky back cap, was able to get him the victory. He played such a good game as well. Both players did. Honestly, both very, very strong players, and it was super fun to watch. So GG, well played. We got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be it. GG, well played. The King of the Hill is going to be Outer Region, and he can play until he loses. It's going to get wild, man. GG, well played. What a great match, dude. What a great match. Here for those 2 players. So, I love the Malice play. I thought he was a beast. And that's only his value in his 1 life. Yeah, Scourge Runner Chariots were really good. Yeah, crazy, crazy match, man. Coldwood Knights for MVP, though. Look at that, 1,723 on those. For the Tomb Kings, Arkan carried. Wow, 3,000 value on Arkan the Black guys. What good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Kepler Guard are just so powerful. Even getting focused and surrounded, they still got 1,200 value. Great play, man. So, the score to beat is going to be Pug. Pug is going to be with 4. And the current king is going to be Outer Region. Well played. Is Professor Pone coming for blood? Where do people get the map pack? In the store, in the Steam store, the workshop. Yeah, you can just download it there. It is Lowguard versus Outer Region. So next up, we have the Crater of Decay for our map. All right, well played. And now let us go ahead and roll for the players. Yes, yes. So we need to do the nameplates here. So it's going to be Lowguard. How does he spell it? With a G. Okay. Very fancy stuff. Puggington says, we will see if I get the W. He still has to beat his score. All right, so there we go. And here comes the new faction section. So this is going to be for player 1. So this is going to be for Lowguard. Lowguard, if you're watching, this is for you. And you have to DM me in Discord if you want to reroll. What's it going to be? Hey! Lizardman. That's cool. I'm excited for that. And on the other side, what do we have? What is it going to be, Precious? Hey, okay, that's a fun matchup, actually. So, Lizardman versus Norska. So, we will see if they want to keep, if anybody wants to reroll. Turin can use High Elves use Eltharian's troops in PvP? They cannot, no. Those are for campaign only, sadly. Some of them are balanced and some of them are not. But as it currently stands with unit caps on, you can't play them because Creative Assembly has them as campaign specific. Yeah, man, Lizards are here. We're getting different factions like every game, man. It's pretty cool. So, Lowguard, you guys saw your picks. Make sure to select your correct factions, and we will start up on the Crater of Decay here very, very soon. Yeah, it's a fun one. I love it. I like this matchup a lot. I feel Norska probably has the advantage at the highest levels, but I don't know how it would be like more towards mid-level, all that kind of stuff. So, okay, so sounds good. So, Lowguard says, I have not really played Lizardman at all. So Lowguard is going to be doing a reroll. So I just need to find out if the opponent wants to do a reroll first. Reroll or good with Norska. Because they need to declare their rerolls at the same time. Otherwise, you could just wait and see. You could just be like, oh, okay, I saw what my opponent rerolled into, and now it's a bad matchup suddenly, right? So, yeah. Good with Norska. Okay, so we're just going to be doing one reroll. Sorry, Lizardman fans. But he hasn't played them, which is fine. Okay. Could be, watch him get Nurgle, just the cackling Nurgle.
Go back!
Okay, I'm down for that. We got a little greenskin action. And as long as they weren't the last game, we got the greenskins. I think this, I don't know who is actually favored in this match. I feel like Norska would be. Marauder champions are just such an unholy pain. Let's go check on Total Tavern. By the way, guys, if you guys are new to multiplayer over on Total Tavern, we have a bunch of new articles. So Dog Person, who's been really active in the tournament hosting and playing, and is currently, I think, ranked somewhere on the, rank 9 in the leaderboard, very solid. Dog Person's been writing articles. So 5 tips to succeed in domination. We have getting started in multiplayer. We have patch 2.3 matrix. So this is a really interesting one too. It shows you like how to pick and ban properly. So and some strategy as well. So yeah, some great articles coming out from the Dog Person. If you guys want to check them out, really good stuff for beginners. And now let's go to the stats. Norska versus Greenskins is, oh, it's only been played 3 times this season. Wow, okay. So not much data on that one. Yeah, Squigs are good against Marauder champions. They're actually quite good. Yeah, 100%. Logard says, maybe even worse. Oh no. I'm sorry, Logard. You stumbled into the random factions today. I need to fix that that nameplate because it looks awful. Jeez. I'm so bad at this shit, dude. God. Okay, so if you look at the scorecards on the top, it says score to beat is the Pug. He has 4, and then the current king is out of region. Oh my god. What is this? What is this? A school for ants? All right. There you go. I don't think Dog Person streams. No, but he hosts tournaments. So, and they'll stream them in Discord sometimes when they're doing them. So you can follow all that there, which is pretty great. I'll be back to hosting some tournaments this week. Got a little caught up with some other stuff and had a cold last week. So yes, the Squig Tide. It could be. It could be. I feel like Norska, for some reason, just does well here. I don't know why. I just get the feeling. The Crater of Decay is a really cool map. It's a really, really cool map. So if Outer Region loses at all, that's game over. Then Puggington will win until Outer Region surpasses that score. Yes. Yeah, Greenskins are very well rounded. They are. They're hard. They're a little bit hard to play though. The low leadership can be a little bit stressful, but they're a badass faction, man. Greenskins are really fun. They are indeed. So what do we got here? Logard versus Outer Region. The armies. I want to peek at them right now, but I don't want to do it in case they're on the stream. I want to know. Yeah, Greenskins were a scourge in Warhammer 2. They were very, very strong. I remember. How many of you guys remember the Grom the Paunch meta? Just for like literally like 6 months, we just like Grom the Paunch dominated like every game he was in. Oh god, that was horrible. I'm trying to think of like what the worst time. So if I look back, I've been doing Total War Warhammer YouTube stuff since 2016. Now, let's exclude all the haggard Warhammer 1 shit, because Warhammer 1 was just kind of a shit show in terms of balance and like mechanics. So let's just go from 2 forward, okay? So I think the darkest time we've had in Total War Warhammer probably was the launch of Warhammer 3. When like we had to wait like 10 years for the Immortal Empires, and we just had those you know, handful of factions that were very limited with no DLC. And then domination mode was terrible back then, you know, in retrospect, looking back, because it was just like it was super fast. The points were like super low. I think that was the worst time, because like even in other dark times, I still had fun. But like when Warhammer 3 launch was there and we were waiting for Immortal Empires, that was brutal, dude. That was just straight brutal. I can't think of a time that was worse. It had to be that. Yeah, Warhammer 3 had a bumpy start, yeah. And it like, I wish they had just let us play the Immortal Empires factions in PvP. Yeah. Yeah, the cultists that could just like spam summon. Oh my god, yeah, it was awful. Bretonia, yeah, but we're excluding Warhammer 1 from that discussion. Oh my god, the comeback mechanic was the worst. I hated that shit so much. Especially when people are abusing it. It was just like horrible. Hey, Demogryph Knights! I just painted a bunch of Demogryph Knights. I painted a couple in the past few days, yeah. I'm trying to get my demis all done. I have to paint 3 more. And then they will be, or actually 2 more, only 2 more. Wait, no, 3 more? 3 more, yeah. And then they're good to go. Yeah. Puggington did lose, but just barely. He played like a champ, man. And it was historically, Tomb Kings have been favored against Dark Elves, at least in land battle. I don't know about Dom as much, but it's not an easy matchup. I think the turning of the tide was the back cap and the fact that Outer Region did such a good job sniping his Firecaster. Sniping that Firecaster won him the game, I think, because it allowed him to, his infantry to fight longer. Yeah. Land battles and matchmaking was only... Yeah. Land battle matchmaking can be rough. It can be. But, it's each their own. Some people don't mind that. God. The last time I queued up for land battle was... I had a couple good games, but the first one I had coming back was... it was a Wood Elf player playing Orion, and I was playing the Empire. And I killed his entire army, and I just had, State Troopers and Volkmar. And he draw-kited me with Orion around the map for 20 minutes until the time ran out. That was the last land battle I played on matchmaking. Yeah, land battles are fun, though, when you're playing with friends. That's the best place. Land battles become an issue, I think, at the highest level of competitive play. Casual land battle tournaments are really fun. Really, really fun. But when money gets involved and you want to have anything high stakes, it just becomes so tenuous with the enforcement of rules and, the gray area and interpretation. And it's just, it's tough. He did snipe the caster twice. Did he get it the second time, too? I guess so. Nomi, thanks for being a member for 8 months, man. 8 months. It's been a while since you've been a member. All right, guys, here we are. Let's get this party started. Let's have some fun and see how this game's going to go. Spawning on the west side of the map, it is going to be Logard. Logard coming in with Black Orcs, Savage Orc Biggins, a big, meaty green wall. Orc Arrow Boys on top of that. Black Orcs going to be supported by the Big Boss. The Big Boss does have the Rabble Rouser, which gives them immune to psychology. A little bit redundant, but it will buff up the other units that are nearby. And a single Doom Diver Catapult. I don't hate that. Doom Diver Catapult is always fun. Now, on the other side of the map, we do have Outer Region going to be bringing the forces of Norska. So we do have Marauder Berserkers, backed up by Marauder Champions, and it is going to be a bunch of Marauder Horsemen at the front. Very standard. Norska is the Marauder Horseman faction. It's very much a staple of their play and is quite solid. Now, I don't hate the Berserkers. I think Berserkers are a nice choice here. They will struggle against Black Orcs, but in general, they trade very well into most Greenskin infantry, super, super hardcore, and Marauder Champions do also, with the exception of Black Orcs. Now, if the Greenskins had come in with triple Black Orc, maybe could have been a bit of a different story. We'll have to see. But yeah, I don't hate it. Marauder Horseman quite strong. Famir Balefiend to fire with the Burning Head, ready to party. Azag has Spirit Legion Buna, very good choice. You basically just Buna. You want to Buna every Marauder champion, and you want to Buna the Brutes of the Hound. That's what you want to be doing, so enjoy yourself. Have some fun. What does everyone think is the most fun campaign? For me, it's the Empire. Every single time I log on sometimes at night, I'm going to play half an hour of campaign just to immerse myself in the world of Warhammer Fantasy. And I just see big, thick Karl Franz marching while his troops are bashing their halberds against the ground. I'm okay, I guess we're doing another Franz campaign. It's just, for me, that's the way. I don't know. I just love the immersion of the Empire. And ever since they added Festus, it made it a much more difficult campaign, which I think is fun. That's some good stuff right there. All right. Marauder Horsemen circling about, going after your boy Azag. Azag is going to want to move. And what you can do is you could fly over the train here. So Crater of Decay has a lane system here on the side, and it also has a center objective, but it has a Vanguard capture point, which is really, really high value. And whoever has the mobile superiority usually gets it. And if you capture this spawn point here, it actually gives you summons behind your opponent's army, which provides counterplay against artillery camping and different things like that. I really actually like that mechanic quite a bit for sure. Now, the Orc's going to be moving up in the middle. Spirit Leeching Wolfric also isn't a bad idea, but I do think Buna on the infantry will ultimately become a little bit more of a cost-effective play. And we do have some light skirmishing out here, so it's going to be Goblin Wolf Riders doing a little bit of poking here against the Horsemen, and also some Savage Orc Boar Boys. All right, man, look at that. The Savage Orc Boar Boys, you don't see them often. I mean, they hit hard as hell, but they, of course, are very, very squishy, only 35 armor. I mean, they'll get picked apart by Marauder Horsemen pretty hard. And it looks like Norska is going to be securing the side objective. Unless the Greenskins want to commit some infantry over here to get that, that's going to be most likely yielded. So Black Orcs time, and where is the fate of Buna? Buna is going to need to go down stat. Black Orc Big Boss on top of Marauder Champions is fine. Orc Boys will get smashed pretty hard by Berserkers, and Azag wants to be cycle charging Wolfric. Spirit Leashing and cycle charging him or Buna. Both are viable tactics, but I think the Buna is going to be a little bit more consistent. I love in the back we also have a Doom Diver Catapult, so it looks like there is a Doom Diver Catapult kind of dropping some shots, and yeah, these Black Orcs need to get busy. Obviously a little bit of a lapse in micro here. As he's very, very focused on the other side, we see the Goblin Wolf Rider archers trying to trade and skirmish with the Marauder Horsemen, and not doing badly, to be completely honest. Side point's going to be taken by the Greenskins, and the skirmishing battle does continue. But now this is where it gets really scary, because he's unlocked the points here and can really, really press the back objective. Savage Orc Boar Boys, though, get a nice charge, actually. They get into the Norscan Warhounds, and those Savage Boys, with the charge bonus of 60 and 30-something weapon strength, they can cut through these dogs pretty quickly, and you can see they really, really do quite a bit of damage. In the meantime, Horsemen battling the Goblins, and the Pig Cavalry are now being picked apart a little bit by those Skirmishers. Black Orcs have engaged against Marauder Berserkers, and they're obviously winning that fight pretty decisively. And Savage Orc Biggins going to be hustling. They should be going on to the point. Really nice pirate ship there by Wolfric. I should say Viking longship, but it's funnier to say pirate ship. Nasty Skulkers trying to hold the back point, but it looks like the Doom Diver Catapult's most likely going to be compromised. As a couple Orc Boar Biggins are out of position. They didn't get the charge. And now they're going to get charged by anti-large Houndos, which isn't going to be good. 85 armor might help them win that fight, but overall, that is not what they want to be doing. They want to be getting the charge, and the Doom Diver Catapult in the backfield is taken offline. Back here, we see Savage Orcs trying to head off the Marauder Horsemen. Is the back Vanguard spawn being used? It's a little bit hard to tell right now. Currently, it is a 2-cap for Norska as they continue to do very well in the skirmish game. Actually parking some Marauder champions over here. Granted, Savage Orc Boar Boys will be doing good damage against them if they do choose to take that fight. Azag landing, and look at that, Azag's actually going after the Balefiend, which I really like that idea. You can see the efficacy, though, of the Black Orcs. Despite being, like, focused, they're still grinding through these Norscan infantry and doing very well. But now Bob is in trouble. Bob is being attacked by the Hunter of Champions himself. Wolfric is going after him. His armor is currently sundered. But Azag needs to go help in that fight, like stat. If Azag gets in there and starts cycle charging and helping, that could actually be a fight that, turns around a little bit. Condom Wolves in the backfield. Beasts of Tashnar take down the Orc Boar Boys. So a little bit of a rough engagement there, but Black Orcs do manage to win that fight. Bob is now supported by Savage Orc Biggins, which will be able to chop through some of these large targets, including these characters if they overstay their welcome. But Azag really needs to get in here and help. If Azag were to come across, he could totally kill that Balefiend. But it looks like he's still a little bit kind of laser focused on the side engagement, which clearly isn't that big of a deal. Norska isn't even really trying anything. It looks like there's a couple Squig herds waiting to ambush. As we see the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers not doing badly, but Marauder Horsemen will beat them in combat, and looks like they're going to be going for the kill. So the Marauder Horsemen are going to be screaming across right here, and they will be getting that sweet, sweet jump. So back up on the hill, how's this fight going? Azag now gets engaged, which I think is good. A little bit late for Bob, though. Bob's in some trouble, but that Balefiend might not, it's not going to go down here, but it might have gotten caught by Azag's poison, but the Wa is now active. So these Greenskin troops are going to be quite strong. You can see the Savage Orcs, wherever they are, trading well. And on the other side of the battlefield, though, Norska is getting a very dominant engagement. The Goblin Wolf Riders did get kind of hunted down and pushed into the Shadow Realm here. Outer Region does have the value doubled. It just seems like he's been having slightly better micro and getting better engagements. His opponent perhaps a little bit overwhelmed with multiple, big just karate chop fights all over. But if Azag were to die here, that probably would be game over. I would say the game is already over. But, that would really be the nail in the coffin at this point. So Azag pulling back up, and we have Moonhowlers here attacking Berserkers. That's going to be a pretty catastrophic fight for the Moonhowlers as Orc Biggins move up. I do like Orc Biggins in this matchup. They're pretty good against Manticores and Skin Wolves and different things like that. So, having Orc Biggins as a baseline trooper against Norska, I don't think is really a terrible choice. I think they can actually do pretty well. Plus, they have a little bit more armor. They have 50 armor compared to, like, Orc Boys and things like that. Squig Herds trying to chase down Marauder Horsemen. Certainly not their intended use, but, you got to do what you got to do. And it looks like they do manage to nibble down a couple of Marauder Horsemen right there, taking out a model here and there. Marauder Champion's going to be moving up onto the point with the support of the Marauder Horsemen. Those Squigs should end up paying the Troll Toll, as I think a triple cap is most likely imminent here. I do not think that there's going to be too many chances for your boy Azag to get back in this game. But hey, man, a great scrap for sure. Outer Region's a very, very strong player. Outer Region mentioning they hadn't played multiplayer in some time, but still, Outer Region was a very competitive Warhammer 2 player and also at times in Warhammer 3. So hold your head up high, Low Guard. You put up a great fight, my friend, but I think this is the end, as this back point is going to be compromised, and Azag, not sure what he's going to be able to do. He is just kind of scooting across there, looking for opportunities. But yeah, Buna maybe on some of these characters, Savage Orc Biggins or just basic Orc Biggins. Yeah, they'll do okay. Berserkers will probably beat them in a straight-up fight in terms of just like pure cost effectiveness, though. And looks like more Orc Biggins, as there's going to be a Spirit Leech going down. Good choice. Spirit Leech in the Balefiend. Don't hate that at all. Trying to get rid of the Burning Head and some of the Witchcraft and whatnot. But the value lead is still 4,000. So the value lead is very, very good here. Very, very good. Orc Boys and Skulkers hanging out on the back point right there. And Horsemen cleaning up the scraps there, able to deal with some of the skirmishers. And the Greenskins basically going in for one. Oh, did you see the boat? It bounced off the terrain here. I think it bounced off the train. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Hunter of Champions down on Azag, and he's actually trapped in a bunch of Marauder infantry right now. We get some piggies coming in, so the Orc Boar Boys actually get a very nice charge. They managed to rear charge into the Condom Wolves. Oh my god. Oh, that's such a good Burning Head. Oh, that Burning Head just hits the whole Greenskin army. Oh, that's so brutal. Their leadership tanks, and they're routing. You know, these guys are barely holding on, but yeah, Azag at this point would lose to a Manticore as well. If Manticore just chases him the entire time, he's going to be in very, very bad shape. How's it looking here? We get the Press of Norska. Norska can actually summon from the Vanguard point here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Norska summon a couple chaff units. Out of region banking 1600 for God knows what. I don't know what he's saving up for, but he could totally summon a million units. You know what, guys? I straight up think that out of region, you know, he said he hadn't played multiplayer in a while. I don't think he's aware that you can use these back points. Okay, now he is. Okay, for a second I was going to say maybe he didn't know how this map works, but he does get those units here. So Horsemen and Hounds on their way. Should be able to help kind of clean things up. The middle looking pretty decisive, I think. Although there still are a lot of Greenskin infantry. Despite being so far behind in value, Logard is doing a good job keeping infantry on the battlefield. Azag gets trash canned, so his fancy crown is not going to save him here today, as he does get taken down by the Goon Squad. So we got the double Manticores, and yeah, another Burning Head coming in on the Orc Biggins. Going to be a Terror Route here in a second. Yep, there it is. Terror Route has gone down, and that is a Rock Hard triple cap. And again, I would not be surprised to see Logard tap out here. As a matter, if I were Logard, I would tap out, because this is just, if he chooses to stay in this game, it's just going to be dragging us through another 5 minutes of suffering basically. There's no way to come back here. Zero chances. Night Goblin's moving up. The Night Goblin Archer's going to be trying to poke Marauder Champions, but they themselves lack armor piercing. Look at that. The Goblin literally comes out of the spawn and is like wavering. It's at 9 leadership. That's how rough the current state of the game is for sure. But yeah, Logard, hey man, well played to you. It was a good attempt. A very strong opponent, and you put up a good fight. GG, well played. GG, well played. The boat bounced. I think it did. I think it bounced off the wall. You know what? I didn't hate the Greenskin build. I didn't hate it. I think with a little bit, like the micro being slightly more on point, I think it could have worked. But yeah, it's a very strong opponent in Outer Region. GG, well played. So Outer Region, let's get the score plate going. Outer Region with 1. So hopefully we can see that. Oh my God, it's like so small. That's what she said. There you go. Okay, you can kind of see who it is. Looking at value here, Wolfric did good. Champions actually didn't get that much, but the Horsemen are obviously just MVP. They're so annoying. Manticore's gooning. Yeah. Value was pretty split up over those armies for sure. Oh, we have the Plague Penguin. He is a truly unholy terror. Oh, on the Blood Bowl, or the Dust Bowl, excuse me. So this is one of Medley's maps. It's just a shooting gallery, basically, which is really fun. I personally like it. As an Empire player, I'm like, give it to me, precious. But it is going to be Plague Penguin. Plague Penguin recently got top 4 in the Total War Warhammer World Championship. So I think got 4th place. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, very, very scary stuff. All right, guys, and here we are. And let's get it going. So let's do the faction rolls. Where are we at? The faction picker. And here it goes. So rolling. Rolling. For the faction. No Sons of Sigmar today. I'm a little bit disappointed by that.
The true.
Okay, Dark Elves. We did not have them last game, so Dark Elves are on the table. And for the other player here, Phone says his boomer and are fast enough. All right. Dust Bowl is like your ideal land battle map from Warhammer 2. It's just like a flat. Okay, Tzeentch versus Dark Elves. That's a cool matchup. Pretty fun. So, Plague Penguin. I have to find blood. He goes by 2 names. Okay, so Dark Elves. Let me know if reroll. He is Tzeentch, and now we go to Outer Region. So Tzeentch. Let me know if reroll. He is the Dark Elves. All right, so waiting on the rerolls right now. Yeah, so he's Blood Penguin's gonna reroll. Okay, so now I just need to see if Outer Region wants to, or if he wants to stay on Tzeentch. What is it gonna be, Precious? What is it going to be? Oh man, gotta go get some super good Indian food tonight. There's this like Indian restaurant about 30 minutes from my house, and it's just like it's one of those foods that you just sit there with like tears of joy in your eyes. It's so delicious. Oh my God, I'm so excited for it. I'm just like sitting here foaming at the mouth. Okay, we get a double reroll. Very cool. So let's go to the reroll. And here we go. All right, so this is for player 1. So this is for the penguin. What is it going to be? I'll just watch him get Nurgle. It'd be really funny. Oh, satisfy the grudge. Dwarves love this map. Holy shit. Okay. And dwarves versus... So Blood Penguin is dwarves. Just watch it be like some hard counter, like Empire or something. Like, that'd be rough. Dwarves versus Warriors of Chaos. Okay, I don't hate that. It's gonna be fun. And dwarves. Okay. And yeah, honestly, Warriors of Chaos are pretty good, but I do feel like dwarves in the right hands can beat them for sure. All right, good luck, have fun. Good luck, have fun. Outer Region's like, is this a flat map? I'm like, it's a shooting gallery. He's like, ah, shit. But Warriors of Chaos got strong tools. You'll be fine, buddy. I believe in you. You think this is unwinnable for the dwarves? I strongly disagree, Pug. I strongly disagree. I think it's sure, Warriors of Chaos are hard, but I think if you put someone like Houseplant or Plague Penguin or these guys who are really practiced in the meta, I think they can win this. Yeah. Have you considered using, what is that, in chat for the game? It seems like 9 are always the same. Yeah, it's tricky though, because, you know, people need to have the mod installed. There's a lot of variables, habits. A lot of variables. All right. I actually think dwarves can totally win this. Yeah, I think they can. So will Plague Penguin be the Kingdom Breaker? Will he do it? Find out here today. Find out here today. We haven't seen a Vampire Coast game in a while. Yeah, that's true. I need to cast some Vampire Coast games. They've definitely been in the shadows for some time. But yeah, dwarves, what can you do against Walk? I mean, you can go with the classic RTK style of like Thorek, like masked Dwarf Warrior, long, great weapons, backed up by masked bows and or guns, but usually bows. And just like kind of push and just value trade that way. And, you know, cannons are obviously good here too. But Warriors of Chaos do have Hellstriders. Hellstriders aren't that... Hellstriders... See, the thing is, like, Hellstriders are the broken unit, but they're not even good against dwarves. Like, Hellstriders, I guess they're fast, but dwarves, like, don't really care about them. They're anti-large, right? They're anti-large for sure. It is on. Let the hate flow. I'm going to turn the lights on here. Sitting here in the darkness like Smeagol in his cave, just chewing on a fish. Dude, so I was looking at, we can show you guys real quick. So I'm very close to pulling the trigger on getting a Lord of the Rings miniature army. So if you guys haven't seen it, Games Workshop does a Middle-earth tabletop game. So I'm like really, really close to getting an army. I don't know what I want to play though. There's so many cool ones, man. It's like Lord of the Rings is just like, is my favorite fantasy of all time. It's, yeah, I just can't decide what I want to play. It's tough. There's one of, I wonder, is it Smeagol? It's like this, right? Does it have like some sort of is it Gollum? Are they going to have it like that? There they go, yeah. I love these minis, dude. Look at this. Look at Smeagol back there, dude. I'm going to have an army that has Smeagol in it. I was looking at the rules, and when Smeagol makes an attack in this game, his attack rule is called the strangling fingers. I just thought that was so funny. But what I want to play, I'm thinking is the Rangers of Ithilien. Yeah, I know it's 25 millimeter scale. It's fine. I want to play the Rangers of Ithilien. So basically, it's a special army which represents the Rangers that are battling the Haradrim on the outskirts of Gondor's realm. So remember when Faramir captures Frodo, Sam, and Gollum? Like it would be an army that takes place from that time. So basically, you have to the army has a rule where you have to have Frodo, Sam, and Gollum in your army, but then you have Faramir and you have the Rangers, which are really cool. Minas Tirith is pretty badass too, dude. Check that out. Yeah, you got like Got the Minas Tirith troopers, and you got Gandalf riding around with the Hobbit. It's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And here's the Rangers. So if you were going to play the Rangers of Ithilien, you would use these guys. These are the Rangers. Yeah, they're pretty cool. A little bit dated, some of them. Here's Boromir on a horse. But there's a lot of factions. There's definitely a lot. Aragorn at the Black Gate there, you can see. But yeah, looking at the good armies. So how it works is they have the armies of good from the Lord of the Rings. They have good and evil from Lord of the Rings and from the Hobbits. And you can mix and match them too. So if I wanted to play like the Hobbit army, you could play like the, you could play the Mirkwood Elves. You could play the army of Lake Town. You could play the army of Thror, which is, it has, you can mix them with other dwarves. So he's actually really badass, like King Thror. Yeah, badass. Warriors of Erebor. You get the Grim Hammers. These guys are rad, dude. Look at those guys. Oh yeah, badass. So I don't know, man. Yeah, Minas Tirith is cool, but like then you go and look at Rohan and you're like, oh shit. Here's Éomer. So you got Éomer here. Theoden is really cool looking. He's really cool. Yeah, so you got a bunch of different models. Where's Theoden? Yeah, there he is. Theoden's on the second page. It's cool they look like the actors too from the movies. No, the armies are pretty big. They're not as big as Warhammer, but yeah, here's Theoden. So like all the kits in this game, they come with either variant. It's nice because in Warhammer you have to like kit them out, but in this game, if you buy like the Witch King or whatever, or the Nazgul, yeah, they can be built in any number of ways. Like it gives you both variants. Isengard is sick too. This is the one I'm really leaning heavily towards, just because I want to play with Grima. Look at him. It's Grima Wormtongue, and then you get the Palantir and you get Saruman and you get him on horse as well. Pretty cool. And it's so much cheaper. It's so much cheaper than Warhammer. Like looking at the like Isengard, where are they? No, they have a ton of armies though, guys. They have a ton. The game didn't start yet, did it? Shit, I'm just like, they're probably like battling and I'm here. You can get like almost a full army for like $80, which, compared to like Warhammer, that is just unheard of. Oh shit, they're waiting for me. Oh god, I feel bad. Okay. Rohan has a battle hut. It's just a terrain piece. Yeah. As the brave cannon fodder of Helm's Deep, you can. Yeah, you can play as Helm's Deep. You want me to play Smaug? Dude, Smaug is that model is $600. It's literally the size of like a dining room table. It's insane. They don't come pre-painted. You have to paint them. Yeah. No, the Lord of the Rings mini game is just cheaper in general. Like aside from Smaug, it's just everything is just cheaper. Yeah. I'm pretty excited, man. I already have a full Empire Warhammer Fantasy army, pretty much full. And then I got Death Guard. I have Chaos Space Marines. We're going to start collecting Dark Elves next. A Dark Elf army. Yeah, to start building up for the old world. Yeah, any of this could be used for D&D. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Those are the Gorby's chariots. Yeah, I don't know what marks he used. We'll have to find out. So this is Dust Bowl. This is a pretty fun map. It's just it's like a Thunderdome shooting gallery, which is great. So you have all these like ogre tents and kind of tribal sites up in the hills, which is very cool. And we will see how this unfolds. Yeah, the Smaug it's actually a really good model. Yeah. God, who do you play though? You can play the Fellowship as well. You can play the Fellowship, and that can be your full army. So you have, Gandalf, Boromir, Aragorn, Legolas, all the hobbits, Gimli, and that's your full army. And you could just go battle other people's armies with just the Fellowship. It's pretty cool. The game looks super fun. Really simple combat system, alternating combat, I think. Yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. It is the Plague Penguin trying to usurp the king. He's got Longbeards with great weapons backed up by Dwarf Warriors on the flanks. Also some Rangers. Rangers are good against Marauders. Often Chaos Warriors will spam Marauders with great weapons to kill Dwarves, so having a couple bows isn't bad. And he's got Thunderers to try and deal with Chariots, and that's basically it. So yeah, pretty well-rounded army here. In the back, we do have some artillery from the Dwarves, nothing too heavy. But it is going to be a Goblobber as well as a Great Cannon. And Thoric is just the auto-take. He's just so good. Having a buff for your entire army is just far too powerful to pass up on, especially in domination mode. Now, looking here at ye old Warriors of Chaos, it is going to be Prince Sigvald. Sigvald has had a history of being used against dwarves. He doesn't have the most armor piercing, and as a matter of fact, Thoric might be able to actually put up a good fight against him, but he is a menace. He could just dive your backfield and cause tons of problems for sure. Marauders, cheap infantry, backed up by the dreaded double Gorby's Chariot. So Gorby's Chariots are here. Anti-infantry, armor piercing, obviously quite disruptive against the dwarves, assuming they don't get just blasted in the face by cannonballs. Pugnington says, I don't see how dwarves win this. Outer region brought the perfect army. Now let's see if he has the micro. You know what? I think dwarves can totally win this. Yeah. I mean, dwarves could beat Warriors of Chaos in land battles in Warhammer 2. That's for sure. But I mean, it was still not easy. Yeah. But Plague Penguin is a really, really strong player. Very strong. So I don't know if he practices in that kind of RTK style of dwarves, which is very, very tough to beat in Domination, but we'll have to see how this all unfolds here. So cannons will start shooting right away. We obviously have the Goblobber, which is going to be teeing off into Marauders. Definitely want to hit the great weapons if you can. And a single cannon, and it's just going to be Dwarf Warrior spam. Dwarf Warriors trade pretty well against basic Marauders. They're 80 armor, 85 armor. Makes them surprisingly durable. Uh-oh, the dreaded lag. You guys ready for a slideshow to close out today's stream? I sure as hell am. Let's go, baby. So Thoric Ironbrow. It's the truth. You know, we haven't streamed Total War Warhammer in like a week or two, and the first day back, we have to have some lag or else it wouldn't feel like home. So the Gorby's chariots are chilling out, and, you know, honestly, there's nowhere to hide on this map. This is going to be a lot of cannon and artillery fire. I wonder if Chaos is going to kind of sit back or if they're going to push up right now. The far side objective is being yielded by the dwarves. So over here, Chaos is basically going to be able to just grab, you know, these two units here like so and just move up on this point. And they'll easily be able to take objective 1, okay? But the dwarves, they themselves just giant push, going to be covering both objectives with just that, okay? So objective 2 and 3 going to be able to be held with one battle line formation, which is the best case scenario for dwarves in PvP. You basically just want to be able to hold on to these points with just one formation-based army there. Leave a like for the lag. You have to all day, man. Are they moving or are they lagging? I can't even tell. Okay, it looks like a little bit of both. Yeah, they're actually shooting there, which is good. Now, on the backside, it looks like we had some summons from Chaos, just summoning in some more Marauders, I believe. So it looks like we got some Hounds looking to get around the side. And, yeah, man, it's good. The double. You guys got the double. It wasn't just one. You got two that time. You got the 1-2 punch there. Yeah. I would say that was pretty good drawing, man. That was a very, very good drawing. All right, so the dwarves are up on the point, and, you know, we need something to pass the time with this accursed lag. Dude, like, come on, man. It's like things like this that just crush my spirit sometimes. And it's not the player's fault. Like, Creative Assembly needs to have, like, some good connections. Like, I don't know. Like, every other game that has multiplayer has some sort of a dedicated server. But some reason Total War just, like, chooses to have these, like, potato peer-to-peer connections year after year. But hopefully the lag will subside. We'll hope for the best. So dwarves moving up. At least players will have easier time microing, I suppose. It looks like there's going to be some Houndos trying to slip around the side from outer region. There's a pretty big opening. I mean, if those Hounds can get on, that, you know, Goblobber could be shut down. Dwarves are very slow to react. But it looks like the dogs are going to be fleeing the scene. They have to be careful because they're right on the edge of the map. And it looks like they're currently waiting for the objectives to open up before they kind of commence the alpha strike here. So draw a perfect square. No, I can't. I only know how to draw one thing with the drawing tools that isn't an arrow, and, you know, you just saw it, so... Sigvald's on his way up. Sigvald, what's really good about him is you can actually take Sigvald and go kill artillery pieces, because nothing the dwarves have can really effectively kill Sigvald quickly. So you can actually grab him and just beeline for our expensive artillery pieces and actually shut them down, which I don't hate that. I think that would be potentially a good idea. So the lag is on, but you know what? We're gonna stay the course. We're gonna, you know, endure this together as we always have. But man, I really hope Creative Assembly eventually does it. I don't think they will, to be honest. My hopes are somewhat diminished, but it would be really nice. Hey, thank you for the donation, Cake Man. I appreciate that. Leaving $5 for the tactical bean. I know, it's the best every time. So there's going to be some witchcraft going down. It looks like it's going to be a Pit of Shades. Obviously, it should be quite nice. And, you know, the dwarves have plenty of time to react, but that pit is going to hit home, I think. It'll at least tickle the pickle of the edge of that unit. It might get trapped in there, although it looks like he was able to dodge it. So Pit of Shades, yep, does hit those thunders there. Sigvald's going to be jumping into the backfield, and now we do have some doggos kind of creeping around the side. So Chaos Warhounds did maneuver around, and they are going to be jumping on the back, getting on the bows, but blasting charges are summoned as a counterplay, and one volley of blasting charges should be able to clean out those Chaos Warhounds. Now more Warhounds pushing into the side. The Dwarven guns aren't quite in position. Thoric going to be using a Rune of Slowness, I think, which is a really nice play. Put them down to 40-something speed, which might allow your dwarves a little bit of time to pump their legs and get there. We'll have to see. But the dreaded lag is here. When Total War Warhammer 40k comes out, yeah. They wouldn't need to, honestly, because Like, you know, we've all pushed through this out of passion for the game and how awesome it is, but it would be really, like, there's so many, like, RTS games coming out that just don't have these problems that it would just be, like, so painful to, yeah, I would still cover it, but begrudgingly, you know, because it's just, like, it's such a problem. So Chariot's going right down the pipe, just going in the front, and the Dwarven guns are going to be singing into these guys. Yeah, and they definitely do some work. They're down to 4 models here, but the Gorby's Chariots are going to penetrate through the front line. Sigvald is on top of the guns. Definitely causing a little bit of drama here. And now we do have the single Great Cannon in the back, shooting into the Gorby's Chariot. But yeah, Chaos is going to be putting some big pressure on the Dowie lines here. Dwarves are obviously up in value, but everything is basically sunshine and rainbows until the Chariots and other tools get into the backfield. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the slideshow. You know, we're taking you guys back to the 90s, you know, when we used to, you remember those like Haggard projectors your teachers used to have, where they would like put like a little piece of glass like over something and project it? We're bringing you guys all back to what it was like playing gaming back in the 90s. I remember playing with dial-up internet and just having like a potato connection, playing Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness on AOL browser. And the game was built into the AOL browser. You could just play it if you had AOL, which is pretty funny. Begrudgingly, yes. High-speed, thrilling Dust Bowl action. I know, it's so painful. Company of Heroes 3 waiting room here. Out of region withdrawals. All right, well, we'll call that a day then. Because if we're going to have potentially more lag. Sorry about lag. It happens. GG. GG. Lag was too brutal for... All right, guys, so we'll probably call it there for today. So today's winner is going to be Puggington. Sorry we didn't get to see... It was a bit of an anticlimactic ending, but, you know, it's a true Total War experience. The true Total War experience. Yeah, this is just the lag. What can you do, man? What can you do? Yeah, he was saying it was kind of late for him anyways. All right, yeah. He said GG's. It wasn't because of the lag purely. He thought he had lost the game, but he's also sparing us 15 minutes. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the games tonight. It was a lot of fun. We had some great matches. We had some really, really good matches. What the hell is this Year of the Rabbit thing? Is this like, oh my God, is this the... I don't even want to click that. I feel like I'm going to get a virus clicking on this shit. The netcode is, I'm going to go update my MySpace page. Oh, man. You think Warcraft 2 is older than you? Yeah, Warcraft 2 is a masterpiece. It's such a great game. It was really, really fun. All right, guys. That's going to be it. I can't play Company of Heroes. The game isn't out yet. There was a beta. That's how I was able to play it. So I straight up cannot play it. But nonetheless, really appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed the stream, we had some great battles. Let's not end on that rough note there. Drop a like on the way out. It helps out quite a bit. It helps support multiplayer and the tournament prize pools and all that sort of good stuff. So thank you guys so much. Please, CA, give us dedicated servers so we don't have to suffer like this anymore. I literally go into every tournament with like a really looming anxiety that there's going to be a laggy like series. I just wish they would fix it because the game has so much potential. But yeah, I don't know. The faith is waning. But, you know, we're still going to enjoy it as Sigmar did and have a good time. GG, well played, guys. See you next time. Not clicking the Lunar Rabbit. Screw that. It's a trap. And that's going to be it for today. Cheers.